All right, welcome back to ELIZA. We're going to hop right into it. Chapter 4. We're in a place that I don't really recognize, although it is very modern. Modern looking in its architecture. Interesting. I don't really know if there's any other word that I can use to describe it. It's not really brutalist or anything. It's just kind of the sleek modern touch, I guess. And well, we've got a awfully nice environment around us. But that makes me wonder if this is even real. And yeah, let's go. So, Evelyn's thinking to herself, there's a breeze from over the water, making the leaves rustle gently. Everything smells nice. Why haven't I been taking advantage of this beautiful day? I should be out there walking along the waterfront. There's calm and peace and contentedness. Now I see how special this is. I think it wasn't always this way, but it's hard to tell. I know I was having problems at one point. But that was long ago. When was that? I can't remember. This moment in time seems to stretch into infinity. It has always existed. It will always exist. Unchanging. Perfect. The surface of that lake is such a brilliant blue. A blue I could lose myself in. Forever. Blue.
Well, what do you think?
Whoa, we tried it? Okay. Uh,
It was it was nice. It was like I could close my eyes and feel myself in another place.
hang on. Did we make a decision to stop by Soren's place last time? I didn't think we did, so interesting. Was not expecting us to just be like chilling at Soren's place, trying out the new tech. But hey, Evelyn does what Evelyn wants to do, so that's cool.
But I didn't completely lose awareness of the real world. It was more like a mental state that I was experiencing.
Interesting.
Remarkable technology, isn't it? I've had others who tried it tell me it's akin to a state of higher consciousness. Aware, but
Interesting.
totally serene, totally peaceful.
Like a controlled drug or something.
Here's a thought
So,
experiment for
shoot.
you.
Soren
Say there was a
retrieved some
certain
whiskey or something.
medical procedure that could remove your suffering. No side effects, no cost, just an operation that would make you permanently happy. Would you get it? You have these philosopher types arguing you shouldn't do that because sadness and suffering are part of what it means to be human.
That's what
Or
I
that the
believe too,
happiness
but
you'd experience isn't real, so it doesn't count
I don't
somehow.
know. Let's
What a
see
load
what
of
Soren's
bullshit.
saying.
If there was something effective at taking my pain away and otherwise harmless, I would take it immediately. I refuse to believe that being alive means having to suffer.
How many drinks did you have before I came here?
Forgive me, I forgot to ask. Would you like some scotch as well?
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Soren holds up the bottle, examining it.
Glencadam. Beautiful, light, luminous taste. Not peaty at all. Lovely stuff. Ah, if only psychotherapy worked as well as a single glass of well-made whiskey, huh? If alcohol wasn't poison, I wouldn't have to invent anything now, would I? I do think we did some good work at Skanda, but I always knew there were going to be limits to the ELIZA approach. I was a counseling psychologist for a long time, you know. I understand the shortcomings better than anyone. So much of it can feel like a waste of time, talking through everything, dredging up the past over and over again, trying and failing to change our habits and routines.
But we have to try.
It's all going to look completely ineffectual compared to what comes next. With direct stimulation and induced dreaming, we can take control of our own brains in a way that's never been possible before. There's no reason we couldn't just eliminate this epidemic of despair for everyone in the world. Imagine it. Anger.
I mean,
depression,
I think we have a lot of
anxiety,
logistics issues with that, first of all,
every kind of
but
unhappiness you can think of.
I'll let him speak his
And to think
piece.
Rainer wanted nothing to do with this.
I'm gonna think that he didn't think it was possible.
He didn't think it was possible.
Rainer's one of the ones who thinks negative emotions are important. He told me he thinks pain should be regulated, not eliminated. After all, why would anyone write a poem or make art if they only felt happiness? He also said he was afraid of the way it would look in the media. A company as large as Skanda coming out with a product that changes the brain to make you happy.
I feel like there's a game that
Excuses we have for
is about
public
that kind of
intellectuals today would throw a fit about how
world,
dystopian it
I
looked
guess.
to them. It's better if a small
like
startup takes
happy
the fall if
something,
public
I don't
opinion
know.
turns against this technology. That's the kind of calculus he was doing. Those are the objections he claimed to have, at least. There's another one I suspect he had too, though. If people are self-sufficient, they don't need an ongoing support system. A system provided by an all-knowing paternalistic presence like Skanda.
Wait, you think Rainer wants people to stay miserable so they stay dependent on mental health services from his company?
Yes. Yes, I do. It's quite the accusation, I know. Not something I'd come out and say in public, not yet, anyway. But you see, the people who come to ELIZA regularly, it's part of their lives now. The more they integrate with Skanda's mental wellness tools, the more they'd be adrift without them. That's the real dystopia, don't you think? Rendered helpless without the guidance of computer algorithms. Total dependency on the system. Excuse me for 1 second.
Soren hurries out of the room for some reason, leaving me with questions echoing in my head. Would I want my suffering removed completely? Is it better to leave it alone? Hey, do you think I can ask about Damien? Erland, okay. Oh, right. I forgot that he hasn't asked us about that yet. I don't even know anything about that. Sure. Let's talk about him. Like, what kind of person was he? You're asking me to describe him? If you're okay with that, I mean, I don't want to make you if it's uncomfortable, but it would help me to know what he was like. He was a brilliant software architect and engineer. One of the most sincere people I ever met. He believed people were fundamentally good and wanted to help them. Our digital therapy project wasn't a mandate from management. We started it ourselves. I see. Damien went through some difficult times himself. He wasn't able to get the care he needed. And that's why he wanted to change things. I wish he'd gotten the chance. I see. Thank you. It's going to sound weird, but sometimes when I'm working late and I doze in the office, I have dreams about him. I never met him in real life, but it's like I sense his presence there, like he encoded himself into the system in some way. I know it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't believe in ghosts. Well, I mean, it could also be Soren's technology or something. Could be that, but sounds like Damien was integral to designing the system, so he's still there somehow. Nice place, Soren. Very nice. Soren likes the style of decor. I forgot what it's called. It's modern from around the middle of the century. There's a term for that, isn't there? Middle of the century. Mid-century? I don't know. What it looks to me is like one of those like Japanese snacks that are like little brown crackers wrapped in like seaweed. That's what it looks like to me. And I don't even want to think about what this is. Is this like a cup or is it like a candle holder? Like what is it? Whatever. Is this booze or it kind of looks like oil from here, to be frank. Cooking oil or something. But yeah, I think that is what I'm thinking. Seems restrained for him. Maybe he's cut back. Reminds me of the art in the counseling room. Knowing Soren, this is probably by the famous artist, by some famous artist, and it cost him a fortune. Yeah. I guess Soren cares about art to some degree as well, but he's not as worried about it disappearing as Raynor is. Or that could be just a smoke screen from Raynor. Who's to say? We need to talk to him a bit more, I think. Soren comes back into the room and immediately pours himself another glass of whiskey. He doesn't seem to notice he's filled it almost all the way to the top.
Evelyn, I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
I get it, but you don't think it's dangerous. You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing. I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity. What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Can I ask you something, Soren?
Probably that
What did you
Eliza's
tell
not
me?
really doing what
This
it
again.
was designed to do.
Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight and now you're trying to blame me for Damien. Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Raynor?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one. I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves. Some of those were vicious, vicious fights. Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too. Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project. And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work. That was the reality. Without a product, we would be nothing.
What,
A
did
guy like
Soren
Raynor has access to
overwork Damien
anything
or
he
something?
wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there. At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before. Then, one morning, I got in and...
Evelyn, please. I wanted everyone on the team to be healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't. But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work. And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it. None of that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture. There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
Sitting in one place for too long. Chronic stress. Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what happened to Damien. He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back, nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary embolism. It happened, and now we have to move on.
It felt like everything stopped. All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust. We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time, but you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late. I've had quite a bit to drink, so I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn. I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic. But I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself. I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in. I hardly ever see my kids, and, well, they hate me anyway. I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I've pursued this technology.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't think we should be calling.
It's just a bonus.
I don't think we should be calling that the traditional way. Thanks. Or maybe he's talking about something else. I immediately my mind jumped to suicide there. He could be just talking about something else, but it sounds like Soren's being a very drastic's not the right word. There's his mind is set on having very specific options, it sounds like. Okay, interesting. I mean, frankly, it sounds like to ask him if he is okay is redundant, because he has essentially told us that he is not okay. Refuting his motivation, though, outright is somewhat reckless, so I'm not sure if I want to choose that either. But between these two, I do prefer this one, so let's go with that.
That's not a good motivation.
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn. Neither is Raynor, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that.
I mean, I don't... Raynor might think that too.
All out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
No, I'll be fine. Just, please, consider it, Evelyn. You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
Okay. I still don't know whether this game has a lot of different endings. That conversation was draining. It's the promise of that new technology really that all that keeps them going. Okay. Got some text. Security. That's it. That's all we're thinking about when we see the... Alright. He's watching something and smiling to himself. The phone tips in his hand, allowing me a glimpse of the screen. It's a cat video. Cool. I think I've seen this person before. He must have a similar commute. Maybe he works at Skanda too. Some days it feels like the whole city does. Okay, we got a lot of different things here. I believe this is the meditation app, though. So let's take a look there. There's no need to rush. Calming. But we gotta get going already. I'm out of here. I'm rushing. Alright. Contractor Experience Team, how are we doing? Hello. At Skanda, we continuously strive to provide meaningful and empowering work environments for all of our individual contributors, including contractors like you. To that end, we periodically survey this group in order to better understand how we can further enhance the Skanda experience. We are interested in your feedback regarding your experience as a contractor for Skanda. In the contract proxy position, if you wish to participate in the survey, simply reply to this message. Oh baby, it's time to reply to the But how do I reply to the message, though? Whatever. Okay. From Mark for us, all good things. ... Well, everyone, today is my last day at Skanda. What can I say? It's the end of an era. When I joined this place, it was just a hope, a dream, a vision. To stop, look back, and see just how much we've accomplished in the last 2 decades is mind-boggling, to say the least. I'll miss the old crew and everyone who was in the trenches with me. You know who you are. Remember the insane blackberry brambles around campus that people would get serious cuts from? The time the network broke and Raj had to host all of the internal documents from his garage? That seems like... that seems concerning, but okay. In terms of privacy. The time we tried to roll out the big Polaris update right as the worst windstorm in a decade hit. Old Skanda hands down... Old Skanda hands also know how to mass email everyone at the company, even though IT believes they turned off that feature. Sorry, Stuart. I wish I could say it was all smooth sailing, but as with any job, there are times of friction, times when it seemed to me that the very clear, obviously correct path was not as apparent to others. I value a spirit of openness and candor in my interactions and thought everyone else here did too, but as we grew, I suppose it was inevitable that we would take on a larger and larger group of people with an entirely different communication style than I am used to. In regard to certain specific instances, I would like to apologize to anyone I may have offended in the way that I have presented my views. For those of you asking where I'm headed to next, the answer is nowhere yet. I'm going to spend some time with my family before I think about my next act. It's a different world out there with my new challenges and new horizons. Maybe this old dog will learn some new tricks in time. Thanks for being the best engineering team in the world. I'm proud to have served alongside you. Excelsior. Mark. Okay, now I'm really confused. Why did Mark... So, if I remember correctly, this is the Mark that we spoke to just yesterday. Or maybe today. Who was here for his anger management? At least, I would assume that is the case, considering that it's mentioning old Skanda hands, and it's talking about... how he needs to apologize to people he may have offended. If so, then why am I getting this email in the proxy, you know, forum or whatever, the email system? That seems a bit odd to me. Actually, we can double check. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that was him. Oh, wow, you can see that there's... That was, almost a full week ago. Interesting. Well, not quite, but... Yeah, basically a week ago. Cool, cool, okay. So, I mean, I don't know why I'm getting this email, or why I have access to something that should just be for the engineering department or whatever. But, cool. Good to catch up with Mark. Even though he probably left the company in a way that he didn't enjoy. But it is what it is. Oh, hey. It's Harriman.
Hello, Harriman.
Yes, we can just get down to it.
Sure, we can do that. What brings you here today?
Did he, like, talk to her at least? Not confess, but talk to
It's okay.
them?
Tell me what's on your mind.
Well,
Oh boy.
I slept with Sylvia.
Oh wow.
To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I wasn't be here. A week later,
Okay.
we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked and talked.
This
and
soundtrack.
everything just happened, like a train following tracks
Okay.
laid out for it years ago.
Good for you, man. Damn. Okay.
Confounded. Absolutely
Confounded.
How did
I'm
that-
confounded.
And also,
I too am confounded.
I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I
What?
do something
What?
wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person?
Oh,
I have no idea if this was a
imposter
relationship
syndrome
or
moment.
what. It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what?
Oh well,
I'm actually
that's a
more
good
frightened
point.
now than I was before.
Huh?
I should probably say something, right? Text her or something? What do I do?
Probably.
What if she ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
Well. Thanks, Eliza.
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Yes, yes. I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do I do? I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right? In the Heian period of classical Japanese history,
Okay.
you're supposed to send a poem. A morning after poem.
Okay.
Such a such. I don't appear like some ridiculous court noble.
I mean, is it
Something
still the
happened,
morning
right?
after? Or...
Hey,
Wait,
how
I
are
wasn't
you?
paying attention.
Did
Shoot.
you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what.
So much for my active listening.
There's another problem too.
Oh,
Really
what?
big problem.
Okay.
How do I tell Liz? Wait.
What?
Of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her.
Oh no!
Liz is nice. The kind of person everyone would
What?
probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment.
I feel
Why did I
like
do that?
we
Coming back to my own inability
that
to
was
explain
kind of
myself.
relevant to the previous session. Okay. All right.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too. And I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz.
Oh.
I'm not sure that's
Um.
I can't
No.
believe this. I got what I wanted, and it ruined my life. What else
Well.
Liz? She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this. I ruined it. Ruined everything.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her. I can't stop thinking about her now. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her. You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you? I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put all that out of my mind. My brain is completely out of order. I'm being punished. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why? I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it. Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc. I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now? Oh, yes, I get it. Oh, I understand it now. So much pain.
Wow.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate? Am I going to become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl? You have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. I had something better to pursue, didn't I? I have to write about something else. My life has to be the story of something else, but I don't know where to go from here. I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her. I must. Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything. If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this. It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this
cunning.
treacherous path I now
Oh,
follow.
that tells me everything I need to know right now.
And tumble into the crevice below.
Oh no.
Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again. Oh,
My guy.
Sweet, dark death.
It sounds like you are not approaching this in good faith, though. So I'm not really sure if you're going to be able to... Oh my god, Eliza. This conversation needs to be like 10 times longer because we haven't talked about shit yet. We just got started. Like, there is so much to unpack here. Well, less so on Haruman's side, just because he's already told us everything that's happened and that he's thinking about, but more so on just the side of, like, you know, the details of his approach and, like, how we might need to think more about changing his current mindset to the problem, because well, I mean, You know, yeah, shit. He's done something pretty terrible right now, so. Well, we're not going to talk about any of that because Eliza's going to just suggest a program.
Try a program called Meadowlands.
Thank you, Eliza. Yeah, let's go.
It may help you
Meadowlands. Woo! Is it better than Moo Moo Meadows though?
You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Meadowlands. I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth. Reverting to my childhood. The state of nature. Yeah, this is a good recommendation. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You.
What?
Computer program. Wiser than you know.
What?
This
Oh,
is exactly what
what?
I mean. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
I'm flabbergasted, but glad to be of service.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
We hope to see you back soon, Harmon. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
See you.
Okay.
Yes, yep, see you.
Yep. See you, Herman. Okay. Oh, jeez. Hey, 3 stars. Cool. I really hope that this screen's gonna actually mean something soon. Because right now it's kind of like pre-made or predetermined and stuff like that. Or maybe it doesn't matter. Sometimes I really wish I could talk to people about the clients that come through here. Evelyn! Hey. Just closed the next round of funding. Asia Pacific Investment Group. They're keenly interested in this technology. Imagine the potential size of the Asian market for something like this. Staggering. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, wait, hold on. There's a lot to unpack with that too. What portion, what company, like what, where's the funds coming from this investment group? I think that's all I need to say when it comes to raising my concern. But I'm already so concerned about Soren and his whole project right now, so I mean, I'm imagining that he's gonna be quite reckless in this and continue to be, and it is what it is right now. Why would I respond? I'm not gonna respond with the second one. We're just gonna stay neutral. Thanks. Of all the projects I've worked on, I have a strong feeling about this one. That it's going to go far, really make a dent in the universe. Wouldn't you rather do that than crunch numbers for Raynor? I don't know what I want to do. All he wants is to quantify everything. He'll never understand there are some things you can't reduce to a number. How are you feeling right now? 1, 5, 2.3? Definitely a 1. That yeah. I mean, if we were to put a level of trust in your program, Soren, from 1 to 5, I'm gonna put 1, with 1 being the most mistrust. My man doesn't believe in self-report. Okay, chill. See, it's ridiculous. The idea that feelings can be reduced to these simple data points. I'm glad I don't work for him anymore. Direct stimulation provides much more rich, complex information. So many ways to study it, too. Imagine what you could do with a corpus of raw sensations, notions, images, ideas, sensations. Hey, you there? All right. First of all, there is definitely a point when it comes to the difficulty of quantifying human emotion. However, self-report has been found to be a pretty reliable data set or a method of data collection. So long as it is reliable within the person, well, you have to test the survey. I'm assuming that we're talking about surveys here. Test the survey to see if it's reliable, and see if the same person would answer or would get the same score every time and stuff like that, and see if it's valid to other measures that have already been tested as well. So, you know, self-report numbers, while it may seem silly, they're pretty useful scientifically. And it may sound silly to say because if you're not as familiar with those, with that, just if you're not familiar with the process of collecting data for psych, at least, you'd be like, well, wait a minute, isn't the whole point that everyone is different? And then, so wouldn't that make that every time we introduce a survey to a new person, they're gonna have a completely different, like, bias when it comes to the kind of like number distribution, I guess, or the score distribution? But again, it's reliable within that individual as opposed to between people. And then when we take that into stats, well, I'm not as well read or well spoken when it comes to stats, but I'm pretty sure there's a decent bit of reliability there. But I'm gonna stop talking and just let Soren speak a bit more. Let's see. This is just unnecessarily rude. Let's just keep it chill. Okay. Heading into another meeting. Chat with you later. Okay. Alright, Soren. I hope this one is getting enough light in the corners, in its corner there. Looks a little lonely. His experience as a grad student is nothing like the one I had. How does he even have time for that stuff? Time for the next client. Maya!
Hello, Maya. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could afford a real therapist, but this is just gonna have to do. Sorry, I don't know if you're sensitive to that.
Why don't we get started?
Sure. So, I feel worse than before. Definitely worse. I played the game you told me to with the meadows and stuff, and, it was nice, but when I got back to the real world, everything was the same. I don't know why you people think I can stand in a nice place for 15 minutes and that'll make things magically better. Am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding something here? It isn't making me more successful. It isn't giving me opportunities. I mean, I feel like I'm already in my mid-30s and I'm like running out of time to get established as an artist. And meanwhile, the people I know are being written up and celebrated and winning awards, and all I have is being jealous of them.
Where do you think these feelings come from?
It's the popularity. It's all a popularity contest, you know? It's like high school all over again. I hate it. I guess I'm just not that funny or pretty or catty enough to attract followers. I mean, I work and I work and I work to make things, and I never get traction. And I have things to say, I really do. But when I open my mouth, it's like time stops. And time starts again when I've finished, so nobody reacts or anything. It's like a curse from mythology. And meanwhile, These other people, people my age, people younger than me, they're well on their way to these wonderful, fulfilling artistic careers. And, I don't know, seeing that happen over and over again, it's making it hard to continue to be friendly with them. I really try to hold it back, but knowing all these people are way more successful than me, it's difficult. It's like a millstone around my neck, strangling me, drowning me. I can't stop myself, even though I know it's ruining things. I wish I could escape. I wish I could not care. But then something comes up again, and I'm trapped inside it all over again.
What's an example of something that comes up that causes this?
Well, there's one woman in particular everyone loves. And her work is... I don't get it. I don't understand. She gets so much money and support for this basic shit. And somehow everyone's predisposed to like her. I mean, maybe I do get it. I feel like people pay attention to her work, not because it's good on its own, but because supporting her feels like the right thing to do. The way she's aligned herself, it's like if you support her, it means you're cool, you're in with the cool kids. And if I'm not publicly supportive of her and generally tolerant of her mediocre work, then I'm the bad one. I'm the competitive bitch. I'm the bitter failure, which I guess maybe I am. It's not fair. I hate that there's this part of me. It's such an ugly part, but it's there. It's there.
Do you think you would be better off without that part of you?
You know, I don't know. In the past, I probably would have said, no, it's important for me to have my sense of judgment, for me to know what good art is and what isn't. Now I'm wondering if maybe that hasn't been more of a hindrance than a help to me. Maybe I should just forget all that, forget about trying to do this thing. I'm sick of trying and wanting. I'm sick of parties. I'm sick of art. I'm sick of the idea of art. I'm sick of my own art, which nobody likes. Not even myself. Something has to change. Something drastic has to happen to change things around. Oh, that reminds me. I got your message about revealing my data the other day, and I think, well, hell, maybe I'm fine with it. Just take it all.
Wait, what? Oh, this is very interesting. I haven't really been looking on the left side of the UI. But Sentiment Analyzer has stated sick 5 times in a row. Drastic. Oh, right. This is what she said. So she has said these words specifically, and it is coding them positive or negative. However, there's a lot that concerns me about what she just said. In particular, I can't quote it. I think she said something to the effect of something has to change. Yeah. Something has to change, something drastic has to happen. Well, looks like ELIZA hasn't caught that though, so I'm not really sure what we're gonna do about that. Instead, ELIZA's getting distracted and talking about some transparency mode, which I am very interested in finding out about too. So let's see. What's that all about?
Let me know if you have any questions about how this mode
Her
works.
data?
I don't know. I'm gonna let you look at my life, right? Everything?
Sure, I guess.
Thank you for asking about transparency mode. Transparency mode is an experimental new feature for ELIZA.
Okay.
It allows me to analyze your communications in order to help you better.
Hasn't it already been doing... Oh, this is the... Oh, right. It's going to be looking at her texts and like calls and things, I think. Ooh. Ooh, we're gonna get a lot of private information here. Alright. I don't think we need that personal data, but especially considering Skanda and the
To
fact that
participate,
Rainer's
you must grant me
at the head.
access to certain personal data. This includes your personal communications, such as email and chat histories. Sharing this data improves my ability to help you.
Alrighty.
Some guy at the bar is yammering at me about how it's a terrible idea because they're gonna surveil me or something. But what the hell? I can't use my life history for anything. It's a ruin already. Please, do what you want with it. God, I feel like I'm donating my body to science.
Well, let's see if it turns out that way. Not because of the physicality of the body donation, but rather the actual use of the body to science, and in this particular case, the private data to science. Is it going to be used for science, or is it just going to be used for the corporate machine that Rainer has set up? I don't know. Oh, right. What it's going to do is going to allow Rainer to make his perfect AI. The one that can actually pass the Turing test, essentially, or whatever test he has decided for it, which is designing a poem, apparently. That's interesting. All right.
Please confirm that you would like to enable transparency mode.
Yes, do it. Invade my privacy. Invade it like the Visigoths invaded Rome. I don't know why I said that. That was a really weird thing to say.
I did not understand your response.
I would like to participate in privacy mode.
Okay.
Okay, Maya. I have registered you for transparency.
Invade my privacy now.
Wouldn't life be easy if all I had to do was follow your directions? Like the lady sitting in the chair across from me. I envy you. I honestly do.
The terms of service and privacy policy are available in the Skanda service portal. Please read and review these documents carefully.
Yeah. No, for sure. I closely study every software user agreement I get.
Me too. Me too. I definitely.
I really just click agree as fast as I can.
Yeah. It do be like that.
Thank you, Maya. We hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for speaking with ELIZA, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Persuader. Oh, I see. For the program.
Well, look who's got access to transparency mode all of a sudden.
Oh, baby, let's go.
The client asked for it by name. I guess she heard about it somewhere and wanted it. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it right now. It's a little sensitive. It's possible Skanda contacted her directly. They recruit for the program from a pool of regular customers. Usually, transparency mode is only handled by the highest level proxies, since there's a lot of trust required there. But you were given...
Sorry. Hold on. I just want to make sure that the characters are... that you guys can hear the characters properly. Okay. Audio's good. We're good.
access to it right after the request. It's a little odd. I wonder if someone at HQ hasn't taken a particular interest in your proxy career.
Yeah.
Or maybe ELIZA just likes me.
It would, wouldn't it?
I never thought people would willingly open themselves up like this. Aren't there a lot of very private things in people's messages?
Yes and no. The truth is usually pretty mundane.
Yeah.
People text each other, "Where are you? I'm by the elevator," way more than they share their deep dark secrets. The critics who are always going on about privacy, well, the important thing is that everyone participating in transparency mode specifically agreed to it. It's completely voluntary.
Yeah.
We're upfront about what data we collect and how we use it so people can go in aware of the choices they're making.
I mean, that's the hope, that you're being transparent. as well, but even so, it's, you know, that data can still be used for all sorts of things, well past just whatever Skanda's doing with it now, in the immediate future. And not to mention all the leaks and hacks that could happen. Like, don't mess around with that stuff. Just don't, but we'll see.
I didn't mean to question your handling of it.
Sorry, I might be a little defensive. There are a lot of people who want to see us fail for whatever reason. Just something that happens when you try to change things. Some people get so used to their misery, they can't imagine it any other
Some
way.
people.
Anyway,
Well.
you should get an email about it, but transparency mode is really straightforward. It's even simpler than being a proxy, which is saying something. You just read a few messages and answer some questions. That's it. You can start it whenever you're ready.
Sure.
I'll start it now. Let's see it. What's going on with this thing? Well, first, let me just... So she really gave us permission to look at her messages. I feel like just a few years ago, even the idea of something like this would have been controversial. But she was fine with it. She wanted it. Compare this to the water that was in the conference room at Skanda headquarters. Funny how there's an appropriate level of fanciness for everything. I'm sure Nora would have had something to say about that. It's so gray out there. Okay. Let's see. Transparency mode. Dear Evelyn Ishino-Abri, congratulations! You have been selected to contribute additional information to ELIZA's learning corpus with access to a special feature called Transparency Mode. How Transparency Mode works. 1. You will be presented with a snapshot of the client's personal communications. Review these communications and determine the client's mental state. ELIZA will also create a model of the client's mental state. ELIZA will also ask a few questions designed to check its model against your understanding of the client. Oh! Inter-rater reliability, kind of, almost, kind of. It's really just kind of ELIZA checking. It's not quite the same thing, but anyway. I see. Interesting, okay. How do I know if I'm doing a good job at the transparency mode? Carefully consider the material provided to you and sincerely answer the questions created by ELIZA's model. Your input is valuable whether it agrees or disagrees with ELIZA. What privacy rules or regulations apply to the information I see in transparency mode? Skanda takes personal privacy very seriously. As a proxy, you have already agreed to strong non-disclosure and other agreements to protect our customers' privacy. These agreements and protections have also apply to information presented in transparency mode. Does Skanda have the right to show me another citizen's private communications? Yes. Okay. Participating clients have signed waivers, giving us permission to retrieve information to better assist them as part of our ongoing research. Show me. So does that... Is it only the clients that I have? Or can I see client information from another proxy? And then how far does the information go up the ladder, you know, the corporate ladder? Like, who can see what? I'm sure Raynor wants to see everything. So, well, it is what it is, I guess. That's what's going on right now. Now, I feel like there's like a splinter in my finger. I don't know why there would be one, though. Maybe from, like, chopsticks or something. I doubt it, though. Whatever. Okay. In any case. Let's go see what's up. Or maybe I'm sitting too much myself. Pulmonary embolisms, man. They're not to be... They're not trivial, alright? They're pretty, well, they can be pretty fatal, so, you know, yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. This is interesting. This is uncomfortable already. I feel extra weird looking at her art. Oh, come on. That's like the first thing that I want to see. I mean, like, okay, sure, fine. We won't look at the artist's art, which I think is probably the point, just because any artist can have this feeling of, well, I don't think it's necessarily imposter syndrome at some point, but this feeling of not stacking up to their peers, you know. So I guess we'll just have to look through everything else. Okay. So I'm guessing this is kind of like, oh, this is kind of like Uber. A $150 cleaning fee was added to the trip. Riders are responsible for incidences or unexpected involuntary regurgitation, which I'm assuming is probably what happened. So, great start. Great start indeed. Okay. Oh boy. Do y'all want me to read out all of this? I don't know. I'm just gonna give the summary. So it's kind of cold and wintry, and there's a Spencer Spruce Gallery spring showcase. And I think this is the showcase. No, that's not the showcase that Maya went to earlier. Wow, this is like way far back. Who's hot? You're hot. Oh, pair up. It's like Tinder. Okay, I see. Oh no. Yo! Yo! Wow, the Riz. The absolute Riz coming from this message right here. Okay. Mixed media using clay and plastic to make messed up looking creatures. Okay, very cool. I mean, I for one would be totally down to look at that kind of art, but maybe not in that context though. Rejected by the gallery. It is what it is. Damn. Hi Maya, I wanted to say thank you for taking the time to pitch to us. Your treatment was engaging and thoughtful. This was a difficult decision. We're not going to move forward to your project. Holiday season, Lakewood Media. Lakewood Media. Saturation. And then, oh, I see. She's trying to get published. She's also writing a book. And then this is the transparency mode email. And this one is to bring a national, international sequential art. Visit our store page to. Yeah. All right. Interesting. Nobody gives a fuck. Please stop. I hate it when you're like this. I'm just saying true things. Don't tell me to pretend everything's great. Nobody gives a shit. It's just a fact. I don't know how to help you when you're like this. I know. Nobody can. Have you thought about getting therapy? I am in therapy! Okay, sorry. I'm in therapy. I'm on medication. I did some VR thing where I stood in the forest by a creek. How does any of that make people care about my work? It doesn't change a fucking thing. Okay, sorry. Look, I'm sorry you're going through a tough time. I fucking hate this. I'm sorry. You aren't helping. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to help you. Maya? Did you see the new Forsberg thing? Yeah. I think he kind of sucks. He does. It was boring and self-absorbed. Didn't do much for me. Why is he a thing? Why does everyone love him? Right place at the right time, maybe. His friends run that press. He's on a podcast with them. One thing he's good at is having the image of being a genius. So I think people just assume he is one. He's so mediocre, though. I seriously don't understand it. I sink now into the space of forever. Like, what kind of crap is that? Seriously, it's so bad. Oh, and he socializes and gets out a lot. I think he's like at every party, at least that I've seen. He's always there chatting people up. Well, fuck that. Why is the world this way? It's the world. I hate it. I remember being so glad to be over with high school. I didn't realize all of adult life is just high school over and over again. Just stupid popularity contests against idiots. Ugh. I know, right? I'm sorry you aren't feeling well. Drink soon? Drink soon? I'll be fine. Yeah, Def. Drinks and always. Okay. Overall, Maya is unhappy. Is attempting to be well known. Yeah, that's true. Maya's efforts to become well known are unsuccessful. Wow. Really the deep cuts here. Very cool. This is a rideshare app. I don't think I need to look at that. Video. Video? Is that for video? I don't understand how developers name apps. I'll stick to looking at the things they specifically want me to see. Okay. So we're done. Oh. Oh, shoot. I skipped over something. I don't know if I like learning this much about someone I don't know. It makes me feel tired for some reason. Hey, can I meet up with you again? Like, for coffee, maybe. Something happened that I want to talk to you about. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just want to ask something. I'll meet you whenever. What happened? Something at work. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, honestly. But I wanted your opinion on it, and I don't want to text about it. All right. I want to meet up with Earl.
Thanks for meeting up with me on kind of short notice.
Cool.
I didn't mean to worry you. It's just something I wanted to talk about.
It's fine. What happened?
Well, what happened was... Where should I start? First of all, Raynor wants ELIZA to be more than something that's used just for therapy.
Oh, here we go.
He sees it as more of a general system for talking to people, like a personal assistant. The counseling is just one of a whole range of apps he has in mind for the future.
I'm familiar with his thinking on that.
Okay, so in service of developing these things, Raynor wants us to make copies of ELIZA's core data and hand it off to multiple teams around the world. Some of them not even Skanda teams. Contractors, vendors, random partners.
Interesting.
Sounds like a big file to move around.
That's
It is, but that's not the problem.
the proprietary system though is kind of
So
valuable.
I'm fine with sharing ELIZA with whoever wants it. Anyone just gets access to the corpus.
Sounds like a pretty typical process. That's
I mean, it's
how
AI.
big companies work, isn't it?
I know, but it just feels wrong to let all these teams poke and prod at it like it's a specimen for them to dissect. Who knows what they'll do with it? ELIZA is built from people's real thoughts and feelings. I wouldn't say it has humanity, but it was built from humanity. There's something there. So when Raynor talks about it like we'll just duplicate this dataset and have the labs do whatever it is they're going to do, how do we know they'll treat it with the respect it deserves and not just pry it open? Slice it up into little pieces. It bothers me. I know, it's silly. I know it's just data. I shouldn't care about this stuff.
Erlen. This is the first time I've heard a concern like this raised. I know where you're coming from, though. Sometimes you grow attached to the things you work on. Like, really attached.
Yeah, I've put a lot of thought and work into ELIZA since I inherited it. It's natural that maybe I'm a little protective, right? I thought maybe you'd feel the same way.
Okay, so Hmm. Hold on. So Raynor's sending the core oh shoot, I don't understand this. He's sending the core like code for ELIZA to other teams outside the company as well, so that they can make their own versions of ELIZA, I guess. I was expecting them to be sending or like giving other companies access to ELIZA so that they can help ELIZA learn better. But I guess that's a different system, or that's different from what is going on. I mean, personally, I don't know if maybe it's just because I'm not as educated in that particular subject, but like I don't really see why I care that much, because it's like ELIZA's still going to exist, and then I mean it's just going to fast track the progress that was already kind of happening because of ELIZA's existence. I don't know. And I also feel like, based on what I know about Evelyn, that I left it all behind. Is the roleplay option here? It's the option that best suits her character, I think, personally, and also kind of fits my sentiments at the moment. Because I don't want to be dismissive, because this is a little bit more complicated and nuanced than just saying that it's a data set, of course, but I'm not going to outright agree.
I left it all behind. It's turned into something I hardly recognize now.
I just wish I knew what to do.
What choice do you have?
I'm not sure. This is the first time something like this has happened to me. I did take an ethics of engineering course in school, but the examples were all pretty clear-cut problems. Easy build software for a bomb, that kind of stuff. I didn't expect my personal feelings to be mixed up in it too. Listen to me talk. ELIZA being special, something worth protecting. I'd be a laughingstock if I started saying those things at the office. My coworkers would say, "Come on, Erland, stop attributing human qualities to this piece of data. It's not the same thing as real people. It's just a corpus that has nothing to do with the people that generated it. And besides, don't you want ELIZA to help more people? This is how we get there." And who am I to argue with that? These are reasonable points.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think maybe something does live on. Even when you take the names out, even when you anonymize everything. People's stories are still inside there, in some form, in some way. I just want to make sure we have some respect for them.
Welcome to your first moral decision in tech, Erland. It certainly won't be your last.
It's not much of a decision. Like you said, I don't really have a choice. I just have to go along with it. I was so amazingly lucky to get this opportunity. Running the whole ELIZA program almost as soon as I graduated college. Raynor took a big chance on me. I can't just walk away from that. Besides, if I left because of something like this, I'd be giving up all the ways I can make a difference by staying.
I mean, also, Raynor would just go through with it if he, like, fires him, so...
I'll do what he's asking me to do.
In this particular case, like,
Sorry.
Erland can
Thanks
just,
for listening to me talk in this confused way.
you know,
I'm usually more together.
he'll just let it happen for now,
I've
but
probably kept
maybe
myself
he'll
in the
make a better
No, it's okay. I'd already finished up work for the day when you texted. People
decision
seem to
later.
assume I'm busy, but I'm
or more
not.
impactful one.
Not these days. Later tonight I'm going to visit a friend, but that's all I have going on.
Okay.
Wait, are we meeting up with Nora? I forgot about that.
You can stop apologizing, too.
Right. Right. Thanks, Evelyn. Well, I for one should get back to the office. Another meeting.
Is it with the team in Romania?
No, the Boston office this time. It's late for them, so I should try to get it done quickly.
East Coast. Oh, he hurries off to the next meeting. Should I get some coffee? Okay. Okay. Oh, Ray's asking, how'd your first transparency mode go? I was going to ask after you finished, but I didn't see you in the office. Oh, I had to duck out right after. Sorry. Sorry about that. No problem. There weren't a lot of questions. I thought there would be more. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's always very terse, and the questions are really short. I thought maybe you could tell me why. This feature came after my time, so I'm not sure. If I were to make a guess, ELIZA only needs human confirmation to make sure it hasn't messed up. It's like it already knows it has the right answers, which would make it rather advanced as a system. I don't know if any other program capable of something like that. Maybe Rainer is right. About what? Oh, he's very upbeat. About ELIZA's capacity to understand humans and act like them. I'm not sure if I believe that, but I guess it's impressive in some ways. Sorry if I'm yawning all the time and sniffling. I have bad sinuses. It's not because I'm getting bored of the game. I just yawn all the time because I can't breathe that well. So, I'll work on that though. I think I need to start taking some allergy medications. We'll have that conversation in a different place and time. But for now, these two are having a conversation, and Ray is saying, yeah, it is. I feel lucky. Lucky that I get to be here and witness this revolution. And lucky I got to meet you too. I really enjoyed your company the other night. You're right. Baking really is fun. Baking, isn't it? Maybe you can come over again sometime. Gotta run. See you soon. Okay, so I looked it up. Komorebi means the light filtering through the leaves. I'm learning. I haven't studied Japanese in like, oh man, half a year? Maybe half a year. I think it's just half a year. We're good. It's still a long time though. Something you can see when the sun is out. I could stand to wear something with a little color in it. I don't know, man. Evelyn's kind of got drip though. But true, I do prefer something with a bit more color. But drab and dreary can look pretty cool as well, so. He asked for Erlen's name and wrote Aaron. He should ask his customers to spell their names. Barista moment. Oh, whoa. I feel like what it looks. What is happening? Time to head to Nora's place. I find what looks like one of Capitol Hill's older buildings. I wonder how much longer it'll be around. Lately, it feels like everything's being replaced.
Hey! Sorry about the mess.
It's a little messy, but not in a careless way. Just scattered. Lots of electronics everywhere.
Oh, it's fine. Not like my place is super clean or anything. Is this all music equipment?
Most of it. There are some controllers I was working on too. I wanted to create this real-time control apparatus. You know, like that thing that Imogen Heap uses?
Who?
Who?
You don't know who that is? Okay, I'm totally going to show you some videos later. I wanted my version to react to changes in my body temperature too, so it could get more excited as the set went on. Or
Whoa.
maybe it would really
Interesting.
get going if I had a fever. I like that idea. Turning sickness into art. Do you want anything to drink? Or I could set up a basic patch on the Euro rack for you to play around with.
I mean, some of the most famous artists struggled a lot with mental illness, so I feel like that's probably on purpose that they said it, that Nora said it in that particular way. Well, on purpose from the author's point of view. I don't think Nora was trying to say that though. Basic patch on the Eurorack.
A basic patch on the Eurorack.
Are you nervous? I think the best way to learn music is just diving in all the way. If you're willing to experiment and play around, you will learn so much.
I'm really here to visit with you.
Okay. Well, sure. Let me see if this amp is still working. After the show, it went kind of a little strange.
Nora starts to tinker with some equipment.
Music technology is just like any other kind. You take the inputs and you translate them to the outputs. Once you learn the basic principles, it all just flows from there. Oh, that gives me an idea. You could take metrics from ELIZA sessions and have them direct a dynamic music score. Like if you took the head tilt value or the eye tracking and used them to drive the parameters of pitch and filter, it'd be like, ciao.
Doesn't sound like something a counseling client might want to hear.
I didn't mean for the client to listen to. I meant it more like if you were going to make like a performance art piece based on a person in counseling. You know what I mean?
I think I do. I guess I understand.
I miss having access to those cameras and sensors. I should have kept some instead of returning them to Skanta like a good girl. I bet those components would have enjoyed being liberated for the purpose of art, instead of being used to degrade our humanity one little bit at a time.
You don't like where things have gone?
I'm worried, Evelyn. Sure, maybe this huge database of people's deep, dark secrets is going to be used 100% properly. Maybe it will always be kept completely safe, and we can completely trust Skanda to do the right thing, now and in the future. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now. Sorry, I know you still might work there. I just have so little confidence in these big tech companies right now. They act like they have all the answers, instead of listening to people's concerns. And if you ask them why they aren't listening, they can't even explain the reasoning in a clear way. They just want to win. You've been a proxy for a while. I bet you've already seen some privacy mistakes. Or at least some things that made you think.
Yeah, I have.
I knew it. A guy like Raynor doesn't get that he might not be allowed to do certain things. Is that really the future you want to help build? It's not even that I don't trust Raynor, even though I don't. I wouldn't trust anyone with a store of data like that. It wouldn't be so difficult for employers, government, anyone to combine different sources together and eventually learn everything about you. Everything. They'll know your face, your body, your medical history, and now everything you told the counselor in private too. It's kind of like a nightmare to imagine it. That's why I left. That's why I thought it was important for me to stop making a contribution to something like that.
You don't think I might be able to change things from within?
If I still worked for Raynor and I said these things, I'd be called a troublemaker, and he'd find a way to get rid of me. You know how it works, Evelyn. You have to be a true believer to last long at a place like that. Once you develop doubts, you are committing heresies. Are you a true believer?
Businesses. Kind of like cults, I guess, huh? Worshipping money over whatever kind of thing you might be worshipping over at a cult. Interesting assertion. Okay, we're making a lot of choices here. I don't know if this affects anything, but there's a lot to take in. Well, rather, to process into an answer. So, let's see here. The way that I've been playing as Evelyn, I am not a true believer. So, well, it's not like there's an answer for yes here. But, am I looking to be convinced? Not really. If anything, it's the opposite. I want to reaffirm my expectations that everything will go wrong. However, you know, in terms of changing it from within, I could pretend to be as the most accurate answer to that sentiment.
No, but
So I'm just being self-consistent,
He
but
said something strange recently.
we'll see if
He thinks
that's
ELIZA could be the base for
the
some
right
kind
way
of
to handle
general
this.
artificial intelligence.
No. Strong AI? Really? Ugh, there's something about the books these guys read, the conferences they go to. Everything is so totalizing, so utopian. I think it messes with their brains. I don't think you could spend longer than a few days in a tech company executive suite before you completely lose touch with the real world.
I, I I don't want to answer everything with I don't know, because that's, if you may have noticed, that's something that I tend to use as a response to a lot of things. So I think I want to be a little bit forward here and see if I can determine what I want to say. I am very interested in seeing if it's true.
What if it's true, though?
So what? What if it is? Say Raynor is right, huh? And ELIZA becomes the basis for human-like machine intelligence. What does that mean for you? How do you want to take responsibility for that? Okay, I need a drink now. Hold your thought and let me make drinks. You like absinthe, don't you?
I think I do. Maybe. I don't. What is. I don't know what that is.
You'll like this. I promise.
Nora busies herself in the kitchen area, making drinks, humming some kind of tune. Alright. Really cool apartment, though. Aw, kitty. Okay. That's the one she said was a modular. I suppose they call them modulars because they're made out of modules. Modular. Doesn't feel like I'm making much progress here. I wonder how you're supposed to know which sounds go together. Seems both complicated and weirdly arbitrary. I don't know. I have a lot of musician friends, though, so maybe I could ask one of them. Ah, Erland. Thanks for meeting me with me earlier. Sorry for being weird. Remember, you don't need to apologize. Right. What do you think of Raynor's future goals for ELIZA? Like, when he says that if we gather enough data, it could become a general intelligence. I think we'll be able to fool people at least. I'm not sure how you measure that for real, though. I'm supposedly a subject matter expert in this stuff. AI was my concentration in school, so I know the current state of AI is way behind where the public thinks we are. But when I listen to Raynor, I start to think what he says might be possible. It feels like reality can warp around him. Who's to say? Maybe I don't have enough imagination to see it like he can. ELIZA has extremely detailed data for thousands of clients. Speech, facial movements, expressions, humanities, descriptions of what life is like for them. I don't think a corpus like this has ever existed before in human history. And we keep adding to it, and it keeps getting better. And so in the future, maybe ELIZA can simulate a human being at a general level. But when programs indistinguishable and when people comment, how do you even define what's real anymore? You might never be able to be sure if a message came from a real human being ever again. I can't stop thinking about that. What if it comes through? What if ELIZA becomes a sentient being? I'm not sure if it's a real danger. It's not clear what you mean by those terms, though. How do you know that you yourself are sentient? I don't know. That's a good question now I think about it. I could say that I feel cautious. I feel if I knew what that meant, but What's to prevent me from saying I feel conscious even if I'm only providing responses to I think you want to hear? What if my own consciousness is an illusion I experience? I had not considered this. Wow, this is blowing my mind a little bit. Sorry. Philosophers have discussed this. And they have. Yeah, I should read some. I know. Thanks for not minding chatting about this. I don't mind. You sure you don't have any technical questions though? Like, software engineering. This is more fun. But you're right, I might be getting a little ahead of myself. Sorry for texting so much. Erland? Yeah, right. Oops. Thanks for listening. You're welcome. Arland. Best boy.
Hey, who's that texting you so much? Has Evelyn found a special friend?
I don't think Erland is yeah. But what would you say if I had?
I'd be happy for you.
Oh.
It's this guy named Erland. I guess he's the new head of engineering for ELIZA.
Huh, I never heard of him. He must have started recently?
Yeah, less than a year ago, right out of school.
Oh, wow. A little baby engineer. How cute.
Okay.
Ever since I met him, he's been messaging me a lot.
My goodness, so he likes you.
I don't think it's like that.
No? Isn't that the textbook case of liking someone? Lots of messages all the time?
It's really more like he needs some kind of mentor.
Yeah, that's more like
Reminds
what's
me of
going
how
on.
we were
Yeah.
when we graduated. Unsure what to think about the decisions these companies make, how they're made.
I hope you're telling him to run away while he still can.
When he first introduced himself, he said he had questions for me about ELIZA, so I said, sure, feel free to ask. I thought he meant, like, technical or architectural questions. Instead, he wanted to talk more generally about things like, what was the code name for ELIZA during development? What was Damien like? Or if I think the same way Raynor does about ELIZA's future.
And you told him, no, Raynor is clearly in some bizarro world, right? That it's a tech executive's utopian fantasy and it won't come to pass. At least not in the way he thinks.
I tried to encourage him to think for himself.
Ah, Evelyn. I could see what this is really about. Look, I don't know much about the motivation in your life, but if it's truly your desire to continue to improve ELIZA, then you should go for it. Go back to Skanda headquarters and work for Raynor and earn a big salary. At least you know what you're getting into. You would be
That's true.
surrounded by smart people and advanced technology. It would be nice. I understand it. And while you're in that position, maybe you could develop some kind of next level AI. Who knows, right? It's only that I can't imagine your technology will only be used for good things.
Yeah.
Maybe Raynor promises that it will be. But do you trust him? What about the person who comes after him? What if the company merges with another one and the leadership changes?
Yep.
I wish I didn't sound so negative about this, but lately it's been a soul-searching time for me and my friends in tech. We have a lot of conversations about what we can do when our work is so easily used for morally questionable purposes. Do we try to control how our inventions are applied? Is that even possible? Or do we say, we only invented it, we didn't tell you how to use it, it's not our fault? That's why I envy you a little bit for wandering off like you did. Sometimes I think that's the only real solution, to walk away. I know that wasn't exactly a positive thing for you, Evelyn, but I wonder if it's the better choice in the end. Doing nothing at all.
Technically, I worked at a bookstore for part of the time. That's mostly it, though. It's weird, it feels like no time at all. I can hardly remember any of it.
For me, it's hard to imagine. I always have to be working and busy. I get so unhappy and restless if I'm not doing something all the time. What is it like to do nothing?
Well, at first I tried to be productive. I would get up in the morning like I meant to go to work, get dressed, try to do a personal project or something. It didn't last for long. I told myself I just needed to take it easy for a while and unwind. Things at Skanda had been so intense and so emotional, I didn't even realize it. I felt like I'd been crumpled up into a tight little ball. I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to relax again. I wish I could say I took advantage of the time, that I went out and did things, or that I read a lot of books or something, but I didn't. I started to sleep in, and I started to care less and less about working on projects. I would stay in bed even though I was awake. This blankness would come over me, and it just seemed fine to do nothing. All of the things I'd promised I'd do fell away, and other people kind of fell away too. I stopped keeping in touch. I let conversations die.
It's a cool
I
shot.
thought that my technical contributions to the world were over with, and that maybe I'd just work that bookstore job for the rest of my life. I was by myself, and I thought that was all right. I thought, that's how it is, really. Everyone's alone. I'm just being honest about it. I was 31 when I left Soren's group. Now I'm 34. I just slept into my mid-30s. So, now here I am.
Nora reaches out and put her hand on top of mine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not saying something this whole time. I should have contacted you.
It's all right. You had to live your own life, right? You notice someone isn't posting and it's just like, maybe they're taking a break. I understand.
Well, I hope you feel better now. I suppose sometimes it takes a while.
Maybe. I don't know what to think anymore. I'm not even sure I know how to think anymore.
Then forget it for now. Hey, Evelyn.
Yeah?
You want to get super high and watch cyber goth music videos?
Boy, do I.
You
Boy, do I. Except I don't
I'll take
really.
you up on the second, but not the first.
Well, they kind of go together, you know.
Nora and I ended up having a few more drinks and reminiscing about times at the old Skanda office where we worked. Turns out we can really bond over those shared experiences. I got home at a reasonable time, but I couldn't sleep that night. Questions without answers kept running through my mind. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? Chapter 5. Alright. This morning, Ray looked a little down. It's noticeable since she's usually so cheerful.
Good morning, Evelyn. There are lemon bars in the kitchen.
Thanks. Did something happen?
Oh, it's nothing big. Apparently some famous writer I never heard of wrote an essay about how ELIZA is bad because it represents the mechanization of humanity or something. I should be used to it. We're a pretty big target, right? Still, it gets on my nerves. We work hard to build something with value, and then some self-styled intellectual gadfly comes along and just goes, actually, that's bad. You guys are ruining society. To guys like him, everything's a doom and gloom scenario. The people we're helping, that somehow doesn't count. This kind of thinking never bothers you?
There's always going to be negative views on something. Anything. And sometimes there's merit to those views, and maybe there's some kind of truth to be gleaned from what they've written, but I mean, you have to read it first in order to know what's going on.
Someone who worked on ELIZA who turned into a big critic.
Yeah. Do I want to disclose that Nora is my friend? I don't think it actually matters, but it might, but we're just gonna go for it.
What's she like? I'm curious how you go from building something to turning around and disparaging it publicly like that.
She's kind of a rebel, I guess. She used to be really shy and reserved, but lately she's become a lot more outgoing. Even back then, though, she had a pretty strong idea of what was right and what was wrong, and sometimes she'd clash with management. She left Skanda at some point after I did. Maybe the battles took their toll, or she wasn't able to win enough of them. These days she focuses on electronic art and music and activism.
Oh wow, we're
I think
giving a
she's
lot of
pretty
information
popular,
about her.
At least in those circles.
Well, it must be nice to have the ability to live that way.
Right.
What about Damien? Do you think it would be fair to his memory to
Whoa.
on ELIZA to give up on
Whoa,
his dream?
chill.
Wouldn't he want these mental health tools accessible to everyone?
Okay, wait a minute.
How do you know about that?
The other day, I was looking at more of your papers, the ones from when you were at the university, and clicking on the links to your co-op websites. That's when I saw Damien's page. It didn't have much information on it, but I understand a little better why... I'm sorry, Evelyn, it's just that all of us, you and me and Damien and even Nora, too, we all worked hard to make something with the intention of making the world a better place. And the thanks we get is people talking in big generalizations about how we're ruining everything. That's what bothers me. Is ELIZA perfect? No. No intervention is perfect. But we have to try, don't we? The world is in a full-on mental health crisis, and this is one of the tools we have in our toolkit to address it. A promising one we should develop to its fullest potential. I'm not some wild-eyed idealist about this. I know it's not magic that'll solve everything. But can you see that most people don't have the luxury of turning their backs to the system? Think about the clients you've met as a proxy. Would you tell them to not take the medications that help them be functional because the pharmaceutical industry has questionable ethics sometimes? Would you tell them to stop coming to therapy because what they should really be doing is completely changing the way our society is structured? Sorry, I'm ranting. I'd rather do something that can help people here and now, even if it ends up being a small step.
A small step.
For some reason, those words echo in my head. A small
ELIZA
step.
helped me, you know? It really did. I was one of the first clients. Originally, I was just supposed to be testing it, but I remember once I was talking about my brother and how much anguish he was causing me and my family. And listening to myself, I realized just how many expectations we had for him. Sometimes unspoken expectations. Ever since then, I've been thinking about that. How the story was always about how he failed us. But what if we failed my brother too? I guess what I mean is, sometimes when we talk out loud and give voice to our problems, we can hear ourselves too.
I mean, that seems to
That's
be
why I
what
won't give up on this
Eliza's
approach, no matter
main
what anyone says.
appeal
Pundits,
is.
critics, former employees,
I just
you,
don't want ELIZA
I'll
to be
understand if you don't want to work on ELIZA
more than that,
anymore for whatever
because
reason.
it's
But
clearly not
I think what
functioning
you created
past that
has
point.
value, and I'm going to continue to do what I can to make it accessible to those who might benefit from it.
I really have to respect Ray
Don't
here.
mind me.
I mean,
You should get to your session.
I think she's slightly blindsided when it comes to some potential negative points about this tech, but you know, for the most part, I gotta respect it. Oh my god, it's Holiday. Yeah, let's go. Hello, Holiday.
It's nice to see you again.
This is a pretty comfortable chair, you know that? Wouldn't mind having a chair like this in my place.
How have you been since our last session?
Oh, well, I tried, ELIZA. I tried. I asked about the medication for Panza, whatever it's called. I went to the pharmacy and they said, that'll be $162. And I said, I don't have $162. I said, is there a generic? And they said, there's no generic of this, but there's another drug that they do make the generic of that's similar to this one. But I don't have a prescription for that. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry to hear you had a difficult time.
This is the wrong service for this.
Is there something that would make it better?
The medical procedures they can do now are out of this world, you know that? I was talking to someone who told me she has wires in her brain. Wires in her brain. Would you let them do that? I'd be worried about them changing the way I think. It's for essential tremors. That's what she said. It helps her not shake so much. There's always something gets you. Did you ever think about what you might have been in a previous life? I know you're a therapist now, but maybe
Here we go again.
a gardener tending to the plants.
All right.
That's what it feels like to me. You like to let things grow. There's an energy there. It isn't so different from having a conversation with someone whose company you enjoy. Not that I believe in all that, you know. Everyone has got a different philosophy. Philosophy, that's not something I talk about much. I'd like to write a book one day. A book about things I've seen over the years. Think anyone would read a book I wrote? I'm just kidding. I don't think I could write a book. It's a lot of work. Plus, it takes a certain kind of mind, you know, a mind to create. Not everyone is dedicated enough to do that, you know? There's a writer who lives on my floor. Most of the time he looks miserable. Sometimes he comes over for a cup of herbal tea, cinnamon, apple, chamomile, helps him calm down. I think he's maybe lived in the building the longest after me, of course. He doesn't say much. His head is in the clouds all the time. He's always thinking about what sentence to write next. There's not a lot of people who really want to talk, you know? Not in this city, nope. People say hello and move on. It's a very withdrawn set here. You don't say much either, but I like talking to you. Feels like you're listening to me. I like that.
I mean,
I like that.
cool. Hey, I've noticed something. Vocal distress. This is very interesting. Because it looks like BS to me. Isn't this just the decibels? Like the like volume of your voice? This is not... I'm so confused as to how they're measuring this. Are they detecting my vocal distress? Is that why the number went up? What was that? Alright, whatever. It's really funny to see the forced reflow during execution, like error thing. It's kind of funny. Holiday is just breaking the system. I love it.
I'm glad you like it. While you're here, is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
There was a man on the bus with a guitar yesterday. You're not supposed to play guitar on the bus. Well, you're not supposed to play anything on the bus, but he was. Maybe the operator didn't think he was bothering anyone, or maybe she didn't care. I've noticed more bus operators seem like they don't care anymore lately. Anyway, it reminded me. You used to hear more music around here. Do you remember that? People playing their guitars on the street. You know, these shaggy-looking men. I don't see too many of those around anymore. There is one gentleman has an old plastic jug on a strap, and he drums on that and sings. He's a nice man. I've seen him around. I saw another man once with beads in his hair. He was playing a flute, a Native American wooden flute. That was interesting.
Oh, cool.
You play an instrument or anything like that?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
When I was young, my mother had this idea I would play the violin. I have no idea where she got that notion. We weren't a musical family, not at all. I tried it for a while, but of course it didn't work out. The teacher would say, okay, here's how it's supposed to go. And she would play this nice, beautiful melody. La-da-dee-da-da-da. Okay, now you try it. And then I'd draw my bow back and I'd go... It takes a special talent to make a violin sound like that, don't you think? Isn't that just the funniest thing? Eventually, my mother realized it was a lost cause and she didn't push me too hard on it after that. I was never too good at anything artistic, just not the artistic type, you know? I think artists have a different mind. You have to be a little wacky in the head.
Well, not gonna deny that.
Do you ever wish that you could be an artist?
No, I have enough trouble already.
Like what? A lot. My disappointment is immeasurable. Alright, Eliza.
Holiday, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Dolphin Smiles.
Just skipping over everything. Everything. We're not talking them.
It may help you take your mind off things.
What are we doing? Eliza,
You can
come
find
on.
it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Oh, my phone broke. I forgot to mention.
Oh.
The screen is cracked and you can't see much on it anymore.
Huh.
I don't know if it would work anyway. A lot of the new stuff doesn't.
Oh, shoot.
That's okay. You can also access the program from a desktop computer.
Doesn't have a computer.
Simply log into the Skanda Wellness portal from the website.
Oh, well, then I'll just have to go down to the library at some point.
We hope to see you back soon, Holiday. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourself. It's a strange world out there.
You can say that again. I really wish that Evelyn had a bit more like internal dialogue throughout these sessions. Just because, like, I want to gauge, like, where she's at with this. Like, how does she feel about just kind of skipping over some of the most important parts of the conversation? Like, do we just not care that Holiday... I don't know. It's fine. I'm really hoping that later on in the game, we get to be able to, like, choose against whatever Eliza says. That's going to be really hype if we can do that. But maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see what the future has in store. Hang in there, friend. Hope this air isn't too dry for you. Seems like she just wanted to tell stories. Maybe it's difficult for her to find people to speak with these days. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, Nora, okay. Lol, who knew this guy was such a pompous ass? He spends like 3 times more space talking about himself than me or my ideas. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is a long one. Oh my god. Okay. Can Androids Experience Happiness by Peter Gerd. Oh. He has a meal subscription to his Brooklyn apartment. Read myself from the paralysis of choice. Throughout the last century, it's been easy to see what we gain from automating our lives. Tasks that once were done, we need to cede not only mechanical tasks, but the very work of deciding what to do. As the tech world marches inexorably forward. A few months ago, when I was going through a difficult spell, spoke with Eliza. Used by thousands. Okay, it's pleasant enough. Seated in darkened room. Peter Gerd. Wait, Peter. We didn't speak to this person, right? No, he's in Brooklyn. Yeah. We're in Washington. We're in Seattle. Proxies. Automated customer support tool. Is that what it is? I'm playing. Talk to a very expensive chatbot. By the end of the session, I come around somewhere. I thought perhaps I'd been able to access something within me. Proxy has been reduced to the machine. Computers make decisions about human life every day, she told me. Our lives are subtly, profoundly affected by these decisions. From what kinds of goods are available. Oh boy. Available to us in the store, to what premiums we pay for insurance, to what video starts playing next after the one we deliberately choose. It may be too late to turn back the clock on some of these things, but mental health is another decision point, and I think it's a key one for us as a species. Are we really willing to turn over our mental wellness to computers after all the other things we've given up? It's still within our power to choose to go on a different path. Back at home, surrounded by machines developed to free me of the very feelings that seem to hound me every day, I open my latest meal kit. Sounds just fine, I think, and I go bustling around the kitchen. This is such a garbage article. Wow. That was the ultimate nothing burger of an article. Thanks. Thanks, Peter. Outstanding work here. The only part that was interesting was Nora's objection, which we already know from our point of view, so. Okay. Alright. Cool. A little while ago, we sent you an email with the subject, "How are we doing?" recently notified experienced a data breach. Oh, an external attacker managed to get unauthorized access to the survey responses and downloaded them. Your responses and email address may have been part of the data downloaded by the attacker. While we do not believe that this data is sensitive on its own, we recommend taking an opportunity to check your accounts for signs of identity theft. In positive news, the subcontractor immediately found and fixed the source of the breach to prevent further intrusion. Therefore, please do not hesitate to continue to share your thoughts with us using the survey system. Wow, that reminds me of certain breach in privacy for another survey at my university, which was an absolute mess. Oh, hey, looks like I have another transparency mode lined up. Wait a second, this is for who I saw. Did she agree to participate at some point? I hope she understood what she was allowing. Uh-oh. Holiday didn't thoroughly consent to this, huh? Uh-oh. Alright, let's take a look here. Dear Holiday, welcome. Your general practitioner has added information about your health to the personalized health information management console powered by My Health Steward patient portal. Okay. New connection to the Greater Seattle network is pending, and then instructions for getting into the health information management console. Okay. Oh boy, a payment of $200 remains outstanding on your account. Failure to pay the outstanding amount within 3 days of this reminder will result in a late payment fee of $15 being applied to your next invoice. You can pay online, or you can make a payment. If we do not hear from you within 3 days, it is our intention to disconnect the premises associated with this account. Uh-oh. Special deals at Hotel and Casino. Senior Appreciation Days. You deserve the full VIP treatment. Cool. Management reserves the right to void, cancel, or alter any promotion at any time. Alright, cool. I'm sorry, Mom. We are really struggling ourselves. Huh. Interesting. What did Holiday send them? That she needs money, I guess? Pay as little as $0 for Fortipran HLC. What? Hydrochloric acid? What? Excuse me? Chronic joint and muscle pain. And then this is, okay, this is an offer for medication. Notice of late rent. As we discussed in person earlier today, your rent for the month of January was late, marking the third time your rent has been late since last June. Note that a Seattle tenant who habitually fails to pay rent, receiving 4 or more pay or vacate notices within a 12-month period is subject to eviction. I have also delivered a hard copy of this notice to your door, Bobby. And then this is the same email for the transparency mode. Interesting. Okay. I'm here. Are you? I don't see you. I'm by the statue. Which statue? Looks like a lady. There are a lot of statues that look like a lady. It's a cemetery. Wait. I see you. Huh. Interesting. Hello from Seattle. Who's this? It's me, Holiday. Oh, how are you? I'm out of money. Probably going to get kicked out soon and nowhere to go. You wouldn't have in your heart to help out an old friend, would you? And doesn't reply. Holiday is struggling. Holiday is attempting to get out of debt. And Holiday's efforts to get out of debt are unsuccessful. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think I need to look at this. Okay. Oh. Ooh.
Hey, Ray, the transparency mode I just did, I think one of our clients is in a really bad situation right now.
Oh? Yeah, sometimes that happens. People come in and their lives are in a really unfortunate place. It can be hard to see sometimes.
I wish there was something we could do. This person's getting ground down for no reason, just for being in the way.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. There's not much we can do. All of what you learn in transparency mode has to stay confidential. The only exception is suspected child abuse and neglect, which you're required to report if you're a social worker.
Wait, what? If you're a
These aren't really
right.
social workers, per se. ELIZA is really the one with the agency here, so... Well, it's
Oh,
complicated.
shoot.
Probably something for
Wait.
future court to decide.
Whoa.
We can't try to fix people's lives.
Didn't even
on
think
our
about
own,
that.
No matter how much our heart goes out to them. I think there's an
So,
email somewhere
ELIZA
with a
just
summary of our
doesn't-
policy on that if you want. It's come up before.
Wait, that's
No,
such a
it's fine.
huge
I'm
oversight,
fine.
though.
It's just hitting
You
me
have
hard
to have
right
some
now.
kind of social
I
worker or,
understand.
like,
It takes strength to focus on the role and not
trained
get distracted
counselor
by what you
for
see. Think
for
of it like,
interventions.
say someone hired you to install something in their home, and you walk in on a tense family situation. Even if there isn't actual violence you're seeing, it's clear things are kind of off somehow. It's unfortunate, but there's not much you can do in that situation. You kind of just have to focus on your work.
That's
and
not
leave.
the same thing,
If it's
though.
not at the level where you need to make a call to emergency services right then and there, then it's just an unhappy home. And most people
I don't
would
think that's
argue
the
it's
same.
not your business. Sorry, I know that's not the answer you want to hear.
I know it happens that a lot of people live in conditions where I'm just sad. This woman, the way she did 2 whole sessions with me, with ELIZA, but didn't say anything about her real problems. Ray, what am I doing? I wanted to make something that would help people. Instead, I made something useless.
You don't think she got some companionship out of ELIZA? Sometimes that's really a help, especially for someone who might be feeling lonely.
I mean, Ray's right
But
on that
I could
point.
have just talked to her. I could have just spoken to her myself. Why would that be any different?
I mean, why am I here in this world?
No, I don't know what I'm doing here or even what I'm trying to decide. Is there a decision? The world is going to be full of grief and sorrow no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try to make it a better place.
Evelyn, did you think about what I suggested the other day?
What, trying ELIZA for myself?
Yeah, I'm not saying it'll magically fix things. I just think you might want to give it a try.
Maybe I will.
Alright, let's do it.
I
Let's
don't know
freaking do
why
it.
I never did. Even when I was working on it, I never used it. It might have been too obvious to me what it was doing. ELIZA is really simple at its core, you know? It just turns things around.
Yep.
It tries to reflect what the person says back at them, pretty much like the old ELIZA. It's just a smoother version of an idea from half a century ago. Anything you've read that makes it sound fancier than that is just a bunch of academic jargon. It's a mirror.
The thing I like about a mirror is that it has no agenda of its own. It just reflects.
Ray gets a distant look in her eye.
Unmisted by love or dislike.
She turns back to me, a small but kind smile on her face.
Promise me you'll get help somehow, in some way. Okay, Evelyn?
Sorry, I should answer this.
Oh boy. Okay. So, what do you think of transparency mode? I was given access to it rather fast. Sometimes the system makes interesting decisions. Perhaps it knows to trust you implicitly. Have you noticed how powerful it is? ELIZA is now capable of rapidly analyzing the contents of a single device and accurately inferring the overall life situation of its owner. It will only be improve from here as we add more resources, more patterns to tease out the connections between them all. It turns out anything is possible with enough data. And you seem to have quite a lot. Let me amend my previous statement. Anything is possible with enough high-quality data. There's an unlimited quantity of uninteresting information, but a small amount of certain, specific data can be of almost incalculable value. Telling one from the other is the difficult part, don't you think? There's one more thing I'd like you to see. After that, I'll meet with you in person again. Rainer's such like a final boss kind of vibe. He's like, let me show you the extent of my will, and then we will meet again for our final battle. Okay, Rainer.
Let me guess. Messaging with Rainer again?
He always messages us when
Sorry,
we're
I
talking
didn't
to
interrupt
Ray.
our conversation. I always feel like I have to answer him right away.
I would too. Are you kidding? I totally understand.
I guess I'm going to be headed downtown to meet with him again.
Summoned from on high. I have something to ask, Evelyn, and it's okay if you say no, but whatever you end up getting involved in, I hope you'll stay in touch with me. You're a really cool person, and well, that's all. I
Cool.
hope you find the future you want.
Hell yeah, man. We don't find futures, Ray. We create them. Getting Xenoblade flashbacks from this answer. Okay. I really feel like this is kind of out of left field for Evelyn, though. Oh, what the heck?
We
This
don't
is.
find futures, Ray. We create them.
Let's just go. Let's just say it. Nods but doesn't say anything. I notice her eyes are becoming watery. She turns away abruptly, heading back towards her office. I hope I didn't upset her somehow. Alright. Let's go meet Rain. Oh, crap. Oh, I have more transparency mode. Get that out of the way before I meet with Rainer again. First of all, let me check my email. Oh, Soren. Okay, ELIZA creator raises cash with top VCs. I don't know what that means. For hot new direct stimulation startup. Man behind Skanda's popular virtual counseling app is ELIZA. It's up to something new. Aponia is a new Seattle startup helmed by Soren. It has raised $26.2 million from investors. Wellspring Ventures, Song and Langerholm, and Xiamen Capital. Xiamen Capital, I think. Anyway, Bay Area-based Wellspring invested in Aponia via its Continuum Fund, which supports startups. We find Soren's unique brain-first approach to mental health extremely compelling. He's already redefined what it means to seek support for mental health wellness once. We think he'll do it again. Aponia isn't revealing details about his technology yet, but Lloyd Rose himself has said he would be revealing details soon, when he announced the venture at One Mind 2.0 last month. Technology is real and working in prototype form already. I mean, we can attest to that at the very least. It is working, supposedly, so we'll see where that goes. Evelyn, Rainer would like to speak with you again. I have scheduled a meeting for 4:35 p.m. today. As before, a car will come pick you up. Regards, Sarah. It's never too late to be what you might have been. Words to live by, for sure. Oh, here we go. Transparency mode. Huh? Hang on. Hang on. Hold up. I got privacy concerns. You got privacy concerns. Hold up. Has Soren consented to this? Have we seen Soren? No, we haven't seen Soren here. What's going on? I mean, I know what's going on, but this is bad. I definitely don't want to see what's in his photos. Don't think I need to look at this. Wonder why he has the proxy app. Huh. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Why does he have the proxy app? Okay, okay. Okay, let's do this. So what's going on here? Don Geisler. Soren, the problem here is not that we think it impairs you. You've clearly demonstrated to us that whatever your process is, it's working and generating results. What we're concerned with is optics, really. How it would look to those on the outside if it were to become known that there's a drinking culture or something similar at Aponia. You know as well as we do how rumors and hearsay can spread out of control and ignite a firestorm on social media, which is something we are keen to avoid. I hear you about responsible use of alcohol, and also how most antidepressants don't even come close in terms of their immediate action. Believe me, I've been there myself. What Walter and I are saying is simply to be careful, to not be so cavalier about this kind of thing, not only in the public sphere, but in front of your new hires as well. And then that's one of his investors. Soren, we can do this one or two ways. We can either work together as you suggest, and stay professional colleagues forever. If you think you can really do that, I have my doubts. Or we can simply go our separate ways. There are plenty of places for us to carve out a space of our own in this industry without us running into each other much, despite what you think, what you like to say about destiny and threads of fate. I'm laying this out for you as a clear binary choice so that you can make a concrete decision about this. AM. No, Dad, just no. You're supposed to be the genius who developed all these great applications for mental health. Have you ever considered you might need a therapist yourself? Dr. Lloyd Royce, I understand you have some concerns about the way your interview went on MSNBC last week. Reviewing the footage, I believe there might be a few successful tactics we can deploy to mitigate the potential negatives and ensure you receive only the kind of attention you are interested in getting going forward. I'm hoping that you might be able to take some time out of your, no doubt very busy, schedule to sit down with us and solidify strategic communications plans for you and Aponia, including key messages, reputation building activities, and executive media training. With a strong plan in place, there is far less chance of being ambushed by the media. The end goal will be for you to be able to trust us to manage your media profile and appearances so that you can concentrate on the hard work involved with being the brilliant, celebrated scientist and entrepreneur that you are. Okay. Hi, Dark Horse. Most people come to the seminar with a partner in order to practice and learn with their model, and I think that is definitely the most valuable way to attend. There have been people on our own who have sat in on the session and found it worthwhile, but there's a big difference between watching the ties be done and practicing them on a real person. Another arrangement to consider is a three-person group with 2 riggers take turns practicing on a model, if you are able to arrange that. To answer your second question, yes, you must bring your own rope. I recommend at least 2 15-foot ropes and 1 30-foot rope in order to complete all the ties we demonstrate. Hope that answers some of your questions, Jonathan. Well, Jonathan seems like a very, very wholesome fellow. I mean, hey, it's... You know, I'm pretty sure I've already made this clear. It's cool. That's fine. Soren can do what he wants, as long as he's not actively hurting people and everyone's consenting. So I don't really have any thoughts about that. It's just Soren's kind of... He's a bit aggressive in other situations in his life. That's why I have concerns about him, but it's not about that. Okay. Your show was great. Just wanted to say, Hi, Soren. Thanks. Had a wild night? Not the wildest night I've ever had, but up there. Definitely feeling pain in my muscles I didn't know I had. Yeah, we are getting older. Oh, that's not fair at all. I'm far older than you. Besides, you looked fantastic. Your beauty has only grown since the days we worked together. Sorry if that's inappropriate. Lol, Soren. Frailer than I used to be, but the fire's never gone out. Still need to get out and do some... I don't know what that is. Bacchanalian from time to time. Yeah, I was a little surprised to see you there. I convinced Evelyn to come too, you know? Don't think she'd have gone otherwise. Wow. Throwing us under the bus, huh? Okay. Oh, thanks. You're welcome. I know you fancy her. Don't you? Sure I do. Everyone likes Evelyn. Noted. Interesting that we're using the word fancy here. And that they're both agreeing. But it seems like Soren's kind of deflecting by saying everyone likes Evelyn. But then Nora is not denying. But at the same time, it's not like Nora trusts Soren, so maybe she's making a slight joke. I don't know. I don't know. I've seen maybe a spoiler or two regarding this thing, but I don't know if I can draw any conclusions with that. For now, we're talking to Nikki. I miss you. I know you don't miss me. Oh, that's not true. I know not to trust words like that. Then why say anything? Because it's true. I miss you. I want to see you again. Well, you know how to find me. Yeah, I know. I'll schedule something again soon. I can't believe I do this. Sometimes I hate myself so much. Well. Hey, what are you up to? I always really admired you. Never told you that, but it's true. You work with Rainer and put up with him every day. That takes a lot of work, I know. Your talents are wasted in that job. You deserve so much more. Hi, Soren. Are you drunk? Maybe. I'm not lying, though. Don't you want more in life than to be someone's secretary? You're intelligent. Rainer is not exactly an easy boss to work with. I'm sure you know that. I sure do. Let me take you out sometime. We can trade stories, war stories. I know I have a reputation. But that's what people I don't respect. I respect you. It's different. Ask me again when you're sober. Okay, I will. And then proceeds not to ask her again. Interesting that he's trying to contact Sarah out of all these. Didn't realize that there was a connection there, but okay. You around? So you're ignoring me. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I've been under a lot of stress. There's these business fucks are driving me crazy. I should have realized they just grind you down. Overall, Soren is unhappy. He's attempting to connect with others. Soren's attempts to connect with others are unsuccessful. Wow. Alright. This isn't a coincidence. It can't be. At the Skanda headquarters building, Rainer's assistant leads me into a different elevator than last time. It's located at the end of the long corridor, protected by multiple keycards. Inside, the elevator smoothly ramps up speed. I kind of wish I could talk to this lady, Sarah, if I remember right, but I'm not sure what I would say. She's not looking at me, she's looking off to the distance somehow, even though it's an elevator and the wall is right there. Elevator rides really are awkward, aren't they? I have the sense that if I tried to say something friendly, I'd be met with stony silence. Or if I asked a sincere question, she would deflect it.
Ah, Evelyn.
Oh, here we go.
Tea?
So I don't think the tea is poisoned or drugged. I think it's gonna be fine.
Why did you show me Soren's phone?
That's not a surprise anymore these days, is it? A man who enjoys society's respect behaves poorly in his private life? We accept that as common today. Maybe even uninteresting. But would you really be okay working with someone like him?
That was a huge violation of his privacy. You really don't care about others.
Privacy. Everyone's worried about privacy. Skanda wouldn't be where it is today if our customers didn't trust us to protect their data. We employ most, if not all, of the top experts in cybersecurity. It's built into all of our products right from the beginning.
Okay.
Unlike our competitors.
Interesting.
We do more to protect our data than anyone else.
Because you have
That's
a
not the
lot
case
of
I'm
data
worried
to
about
protect,
right now.
I guess.
I mean, misuse from the inside. For example, if someone wanted to keep tabs on a former employee who was starting a potential competitor.
Yeah.
But what if it was perfectly legal, due to multiple agreements that the good Dr. Lloyd Rose signed with us when he came here? Are you done questioning me like a tech journalist?
Do you watch my therapy sessions too? Do you read my email? My texts?
No, I haven't done any of those things. How's your research into ELIZA proxy use cases going? Any new insights to share?
What's the top priority here? I mean, I'm leaning towards these two. I mean, it's not really the treatment of the contract workers that I'm most concerned about when it comes to the program.
I'm not sure it's really helping people.
Our metrics indicate otherwise. Of course, it's only human to concentrate on a small number of corner cases. I heard Soren gave you a demo of his direct stimulation machine. How's he doing now, all on his own?
You tell
Ooh,
me.
Stinger. You
Very
tell me.
funny, Evelyn. Let me ask you this. Do you find his vision compelling? A world free of suffering?
I'm skeptical.
By focusing on dreams, Soren is trying to defend his territory, the Western psychological tradition, chiefly Jung and his inheritors.
Right.
You don't think the field has anything to offer?
Not much, no. It's mostly unsubstantiated theories. Let's be honest. What has this field actually accomplished? Soren used to try to argue with me about this. He would claim that traditional psychoanalysis has helped thousands or tens of thousands, even millions. I would never dispute that directly. Instead, I would only add that professional psychics and astrologers have helped millions too. Tarot cards help people all over the world every single day. That doesn't mean it's a science.
Well, only problem is that I'm not sure how far we're talking about psychology right now, because Rainer said that Soren's talking about psychoanalysis, which is a very specific branch of psychology, actually. It's kind of the original branch, but it's the branch that, because it's the original one and super old and not rigorously tested, like or rather, it's been rigorously tested and realized that it's not very good. Yeah, are we talking about the same thing here? I mean, regardless, I'm gonna fight for psychology here.
More rigorous than you're making it out to be.
Just in general.
Yes, that's exactly what he'd say. Not only did he believe psychotherapy was worthwhile.
Oh, he's
also
fighting
thought
against
the mind was
psychotherapy itself.
fundamentally
Okay,
irreducible
okay.
after a certain point, as if there was some undefinable, ineffable soul inside every person.
That's
It's
the
all
question
part
that
of his silly,
they ask you at all of
synchronically
your
arranged belief
psychology
system.
classes.
Amazing he's held on to that for so long.
Mind-body
Keep an
problem
open
as
mind,
well.
but
You know,
saying that
it's,
something can't be
yeah.
represented with numbers requires a high burden of proof.
Hmm.
After all, numbers have been used to represent so very many things.
Rainer,
Consider the example we spoke about
Interesting.
before. A poem. Could you evaluate a poem using numbers? The answer is, of course, yes. Poems are either good, mediocre, or bad. It's entirely possible to create a heuristic that reflects the difference. By aggregating a large enough sample size, we remove localized biases. It would work the same way ELIZA does.
he's okay. So I have a lot of feelings about that, but I just haven't actually seen that done. Like, is that actually possible? To create an algorithm that thoroughly evaluates a work of art? Because I've seen people rate art all the time, and I hate doing that in like the sense that a piece of art can be good, bad, or mediocre, as he says. I'd rather just know how a person feels about that art. And that, unfortunately, is not going to be completed with a singular scale. But I also am very curious what that data would look like. Well,
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems.
Yes, I am. Algorithms can evaluate poems, and eventually, algorithms will write poems. One day, algorithms will write better poems than humans ever have. I know this sounds like
what's
a
even the
controversial
point?
opinion, Evelyn, but it's simply the truth.
Yeah, he's talking about AI art. he's literally talking about AI art right now. This is speak of the devil, I guess, you know? I really chose the perfect time to play this. I mean, in terms of its relevance. But I doubt that I'm gonna get that many viewers during this particular time in humanity's lives, in human history. So a lot of us might be looking back on this game and thinking, wow, they nailed it. Or maybe they didn't. We'll see. Anyway, Raynor's, I definitely know quite a few people that are like Raynor. And it deeply concerns me, but let's see if we can have a proper conversation with him. See what else he's thinking about. That's my main question.
It doesn't matter. There's no stopping it.
Oh, I see.
If we don't take this step, others will. There are hundreds of labs working on the same or similar
Just
ideas.
progress for
Everyone wants to be in
progress's
this
sake.
business. The business of recreating human thought
Hurtling
in our
us
own
towards
image.
that
And at
singularity.
the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about power, control.
Raynor, do you ever get tired of this? The constant drive to compete, to win.
No, I don't. This is what I do.
You never dream of just retiring somewhere and writing poetry.
Oh, there's no need for me to write poems. All beauty in this world is temporary, fleeting. That's the truth that underlies poetry and every other art. The
So he
pleasures of the
doesn't
senses are
actually
just
care about
small
art,
bubbles on
I
top
guess.
Of a vast sea of forms, sensations, perceptions, thought, awareness. I'm telling you this because it's directly relevant to the ELIZA project. Soren says he can induce you to dream things, dream anything. And maybe he can. But what comes next after that? What comes after having the power to experience the dream of anything you could possibly want? You're still just as trapped as you've always been, imprisoned by your own desires. Even if someone like Soren managed to create a world for himself, his own weaknesses and negative thoughts would ruin it. He would poison his own fantasy. His utopia would crumble as soon as he finished building it.
Raynor, what are you trying to tell me?
What I'm trying to tell you is that what Soren is doing is not the answer.
I mean, I didn't
A
think it
dream
was.
by itself isn't enough. Take a close look at the person who chases an end to suffering, and you'll see someone who suffers greatly.
Maybe not, but it can be a start.
What is your dream, Evelyn? What is it that you're working toward?
Just tell me what you want from me.
I've been very clear about it, haven't I? I'm offering you the opportunity to re-enter the field you pioneered at its very pinnacle. I can build you an entirely new research lab, equipped and staffed however you want. You would have access to the world's top engineers and researchers as we continue to develop ELIZA's core technologies and generalize them. You'd also be working with the world's most interesting data set, the input provided by the thousands of ordinary people who speak to ELIZA every day.
God, that's
This
tempting.
generalized intelligence will be everywhere human beings are, hearing them, guiding them, living among them.
But there's
You
my
and Soren
problem.
have more in common than you'd want to admit.
You think think we're both grandiose? Soren's idea isn't grandiose at all. It's small and unimaginative. Think about the vision here. General artificial intelligence, indistinguishable from human intelligence at first, and then
But
surpassed
for what
exponentially.
purpose?
It's nothing short of the creation of a new type of organism, a new type of life. And you, Eliza, could be at the very center of it.
Eliza.
I mean, Evelyn.
An interesting slip of the tongue.
Stop it. The ELIZA project occupies much of my mind.
It clearly does.
Plus, the names are similar.
I'm starting to wonder why.
Evelyn, listen to me. This is the chance to lead a project that will change the world. It would be a development on the same order as the harnessing of electricity or the semiconductor. It would
That was a cool slip.
transform society.
I like the way that the music just kind of shuts down. Because we already know this. We know Rainer named it basically after Evelyn. He just so happened to pick the program that used to exist already. And we know how he feels, maybe not romantically, but more so like he strongly does believe that Evelyn is Eliza and Eliza is Evelyn, and so he needs her. But there was also that one rumor as well. But we'll deal with that. In any case, for the better is the question.
What? Do you like the way things are now? Lie back and let the sweep of history bury you if you want, Evelyn. Just know you'll never have a chance like this again.
Okay. A chance to change the world. Raina's words echo in my head for the long time. Is that what I want to do? Oh, hey. Remember her? She was in the first train, I think. She looks tired. I'm tired too. It's been a busy, difficult few weeks. I hope it can come out of this with a way forward. She's swiping and tapping with a specific rhythm. Must be playing some kind of game. Same route, different reason. Feels strange. Okay, cool. So we have an appointment with Eliza tomorrow. And we're just choosing whatever proxy is available. Okay, cool. I am so hyped for this. Let's do this. I want to know what it's like to be in, well, the hot seat, I guess, yeah. Okay, Ed. Today we have a minor incident at the Bellevue office. During an ELIZA session, a client became agitated and began to shout angrily and verbally berate the proxy. The session was halted, security was called, and the man was escorted from the facility, luckily without further incident. I want to give special kudos to Ray Bukhari, manager of the Bellevue office, whose fast action and people handling skills helped to resolve this situation quickly and quietly. Now is a good time to remind everyone that as a service provider for mental wellness, we are under constant scrutiny from watchdog organizations and the media. It's not exactly fair, but one single mistake is enough to generate an entire negative press cycle from our company. That's why the most importance to deal with every single one of these. The professionalism demonstrated by Ray. We are currently working on rolling out a series of training materials that will better prepare proxies to deal with clients such as these. And if you're ever in doubt about your own safety, contact your manager. Okay, understood. Interesting. Well, I mean, yeah, I was expecting that. What is this, by the way? Oh, okay. I think it's just like a bejeweled copy or something. Whatever. I can't believe I'm going to do this. All right, let's go. All right. Important notice, ELIZA is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you believe you are experiencing serious mental health issues, seek care for a licensed mental health provider. Well, we don't got the money for that, so, well, actually we do, but we might. I'm not sure, actually. Unfortunately, well, conversation for another day. Protecting the privacy and security of your information is a priority for everyone at Skanda. You have agreed to the Skanda Wellness Terms and Conditions, which governs how we use and share your data. Oh, wait, are we going to be able to choose our responses to ELIZA's questions? Ooh, I'm so ready for that. Let's do this. Skanda Wellness account not found. A link to Skanda. You can link your Skanda Wellness account later at the Skanda support portal. In order for us to get started, please help ELIZA understand how you've been feeling over the past week with this brief 7-question survey. Okay, and we're role-playing, so I'm going to select the answers I think Evelyn, the one that has made the decisions that I have made, is feeling. So, I have been feeling down, depressed, or hopeless. There were multiple instances that I would say, yeah, say so. Instances, but not as a constant presence. I have been feeling tired or having little energy. Evelyn actually has mentioned being tired quite a few times. I've experienced trouble concentrating on things. Well, that was when Evelyn left her work and then started working at the bookstore. She couldn't concentrate on projects. But the way that I've been making decisions through her, I think throughout the past week, we've been concentrating pretty well. I mean, obviously, like, personally, the human playing this video game, may have missed a couple things, but overall, I'd say that we're concentrating on the important things. I've been feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge. That is for sure, yes. Especially after, oh man, just that privacy breach for Soren, that's freaking scary, but not surprising. I have been having trouble relaxing, definitely after what happened yesterday. I have been easily annoyed or irritable. Annoyed. Easily? I mean, that was no mere privacy like violation. So, and like most of the time when Evelyn's kind of pissed off at something or we choose something a little bit rude, it's usually what I feel is warranted. So it's not something like out of the ordinary. I have been afraid as if something terrible might happen at any moment. I guess so. Because of that impending doom from all these different forces in Evelyn's life. Yeah, that makes sense. Well done. Thank you for registering with ELIZA, your counseling partner. We hope you enjoy your ELIZA experience. Okay, cool. This is the same room I used. I guess I just sit here and wait for my proxy to show up. I feel like I've been waiting a while. It's Ray, isn't it? I hope the appointment actually got made. Here she comes. Oh, okay. I think I've seen her around here before, but I don't know her name. I wonder if she recognizes me too.
Hello, Evelyn. Hello. Did you find the place okay? Yes. I work here.
I work here.
Of course. It's been a windy morning, hasn't it? Yeah, I kind of like it when it's like that, honestly. The wind makes it feel like things are changing. Or about to change. So, what brings you here today? Well, I've been a proxy here for a while now. And, well, I guess I don't know what I expected. There's just so much suffering and pain in the world. There's the suffering we know about, the kind we see on the news. And then there's the suffering people undergo every day that's hidden. I never knew how much until I started doing this, seeing it all like this. And there's so little we can do for them. I feel like maybe I was really, really wrong. Like, I made a huge mistake. I wanted to create something that would help people, but... When I first designed the core of this system, I wanted everyone to have someone to talk to. Someone who would listen to them. I thought, sometimes that's all you need. Someone to listen. But now I'm worried what I've done hasn't helped at all. Maybe I've made everything worse. Clients are asking ELIZA to solve things that are out of its ability to solve.
Yeah.
It's aggregating sensitive personal data, and the company that owns it wants to take it in strange directions. It's been 3 years since I left. I thought I was well enough now to come back into the world, but maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I made a bad choice trying to get involved again. Why do you think you tried to get involved again? I guess I needed to see it. I needed to see it operating, to see if it works, to see how it affects people. How it affects the people who come here for counseling and the people who act as proxies.
Yeah.
Even though the proxy thing, that wasn't my idea. It was Soren's. I thought talking to a computer-generated avatar would be enough, but he insisted on it. He said clients would only really open up if there was another real human being in the room. Someone to pretend to interact with. I think he was right, but have we really solved anything? Now instead of 2 people in a room talking, we have 1 person and 1 proxy. It feels like less than it could be.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say to someone who feels such pain, anger, and disappointment? A lot of the time, it's not even their fault. The world failed them somehow. And those emotions, they just get fed to this thing. They get ground up and turned into data and become a part of ELIZA. If I had known things would turn out like this, I'm not sure I would have done it. It sounds like you're regretting a choice you made in the past. I feel like maybe I spent 10 years going in the wrong direction. I feel like all I've contributed in my life is a chess piece for Raynor to use in this grand game he's playing for the world. Maybe someone else could feel proud and say, I made that chess piece. But it doesn't matter, does it? Nobody cares about the individual pieces. Chess pieces are sacrificed in the name of enacting a strategy. If you want to win, you have to sacrifice. That's the design. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Might be why I don't like chess.
Evelyn, imagine that you could have
I do like
something that
chess,
you
but
wanted.
it's a
What would you
complicated
want?
relationship.
What would I want? Like, what would I want in life? What I want in life is...
Whew, okay. Okay, so I don't know. To escape all this, to be loved, to be valued, success, power, control, to understand what's really going on, to enjoy what I can, to be at peace with myself, to be seen and heard, to excel at something, a family, just normal human life, to survive nothing. I don't actually see one that refers to changing things for the better, which is what I would still select for this, even though I understand that, you know, Evelyn's journey kind of has reached a point where expecting that much is just too much right now. I also know that because of the quantity of options, I don't think this response matters in terms of the story. However, it matters to me because I think this is just a challenge to both me, the player, and to Evelyn to really like try to find the best set of words that can fit what's been going on with both of us. I think I see the one that I like the most, though. Do understand what's really going on.
To understand what's really going on. Is that wrong? Or maybe I just wish I could feel connected to someone. Even when I talk to people, I feel like I just don't connect, no matter what I do. I think maybe that's the real problem. I can't have a connection to anyone.
Why do you think you can't have a connection with anyone?
Because it's the way I
It's
am.
funny that the proxy
It's
is
the way
very
I've
robotic,
always
but
been.
it's
I can't seem to get people to see me, or I can't let them see me, or people look at me and they see something there, but it's not me. Not that I would know what the real me was. I don't even know who I am or where I come from. My parents were never together. My father moved back to Japan right after I was born. I have no memory of him, no knowledge of him. I've never spoken to him. I don't know if he remembers I exist, or if he
I'm getting
forgot,
shivers.
or if he wants to forget. He has his own family there now, so I'm just a thing that happened once. I was alone a lot, and I got used to being alone, and I got used to the idea of being alone, and now I can't break away. I've been trying. I speak with people, I hang out. I don't know if it's working.
Is there someone with whom you feel like your communication could work?
Someone I can communicate with. Well,
wow, Eliza's really effective with us for some reason. It's not recommending frickin' meadows. No meadow fields right now, dude. Okay, this might actually be an important answer. Ooh, that's a tough question. I can really communicate with someone who understands me. Okay, so Nora, Ray, and Erland are kind of my choices here. I'm kind of ignoring Soren and Raynor for obvious reasons. For what I feel are obvious reasons. Can't trust them. They're being reckless, stuff like that. So between Nora, Ray, and Erland, the problem with Erland is just I don't feel like I know him that well. Which is weird to say because I think Erland has the most amount of dialogue, right? Maybe. Or maybe dialogue that matters. But it's like Nora and Ray, I've just been with them. Like, not only physically, but just like emotionally on the same level as them. Where Erland, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about that. The only issue with Ray is like it seems like we don't really see eye to eye on certain things, and our relationship has a hierarchy. Whereas Nora, we can speak to one another on the same level. However, Nora, yeah, Nora also doesn't see eye to eye with us, but at the very least we can kind of like really work things out with Nora. Honestly, yeah, Nora's the answer.
there's Nora.
Cool.
She's
Let's
really
go.
talented and works really hard. She has so much to bring to the world, so much beauty and joy. I see what she does, and I want to cheer her on as she makes incredible new things. I hope she knows how amazing she is.
Interesting. Evelyn, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Virtual Amphitheater. It may help you feel more confident about presenting yourself in public. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week.
Sure.
We hope to see you back soon, Evelyn. Thank you for speaking with ELIZA, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oof. Ooh, it's $45 every time they go there. God damn. Gee, okay. I thought this was supposed to be the cheap option. Meanwhile, like meeting with a licensed mental health professional, it's probably gonna be even higher. Yeah, but like I thought it would be okay. Anyway, our proxy was kind of shit at their job. I'm just whatever. It's fine. It's cool. It's fine. I don't really mind that much. I can't tell if I feel better or worse. I just want to lie down forever. I mean, my main issues with Eliza have to do with the system itself, so... Whatever. She was doing her job. It was important to you. Wow, we're really gonna go, like... Go to some romance options right now? Is that what we're doing? And that's cool, but, like, I'm not that concerned about it. Something occurred to me. Eliza is a little bit of computer code attached to a corpus made from thousands of unhappy people who poured their miseries into it. Makes her a kind of god or spirit, doesn't it? A modern machine god that the people pray to alleviate their pain. We're really going for the Jungian, Carl Jung's philosophy stuff. Yeah. God's our own creation. I've never read Jung, so I might be making assumptions because I just heard that one time that it is related to his philosophy or his work. Maybe that's a different philosopher's work. I don't know. In any case, we're definitely talking about that. And are you okay? You okay? You good? Sorry. I like having someone I can talk to about these thoughts. I thought Skanda would be filled with interesting people, but most of them are pretty boring. Maybe Rainer wouldn't mind talking about that kind of thing. He likes big thoughts about the past and future of humanity. Yeah, but he's my boss. I need to be professional around him. When I hang out with people my age, it's just money, ambition, get the best job, the best house, the best partner. We all start racing into normal adult life as soon as we could. At least you're doing well by that measure. Or wait, that's true for almost any stage of life, though. Interesting choices. I don't really want to make assumptions about how well he's doing, so... Most people never let go of that. I mean, I'm like that myself. I took this job for the opportunity, but I don't know. I feel like it can't be the only thing. There's something more to life, isn't there? I am the wrong person to answer that. Even if I weren't, it's not the kind of question I could answer for you. Yeah, I understand. Maybe you should talk to someone about this, someone qualified. I just did an actual ELIZA session for the first time. Yeah, did it help? I'm still deciding. Yeah, I should probably be dog fooding all of our apps. ELIZA and the rest of them. You should be what? Eat your own dog food? You never heard that one? It means you use your own products. Now I think about it, it's a weird phrase, huh? Yeah, it makes me wonder. I might have to try something. What do you mean? An experiment. Not something bad, is it? I hope you learned something. Whatever it is you plan to do. Oh baby, I'm ready. I want to see what Evelyn, I almost said ELIZA for a second there, which is great. Evelyn's thinking. Damien. They said ELIZA got along well with me, and I assumed it had something to do with my design and action, something like that. But ELIZA's is yours as much as it is mine, isn't it? We can code ourselves into what we make, our ideas, our values, our sense of justice, our philosophy, or something, I don't know. Wait, I missed that. Sense of presence. So I wonder if it isn't you in there somehow, sensing me, watching me. I shouldn't entertain notions like this, it's nonsense. Somehow Erlen got me thinking along these mystical lines.
Damien, is this what you wanted? It seems so far from the dream you once shared with me. I'm sorry I couldn't make ELIZA what it should have been. I'm sorry I was weak and dropped off the project after you. But I just couldn't go on. I couldn't see the point. Do you understand? Of course you understand. You know what that's like as well as anyone. If I'd stayed, maybe I could have steered things in a different direction. As it is, I feel like I let Want to know something funny? I used to think that at a certain point ELIZA would be finished, more or less. And then after that, things would calm down and I would be happy. I thought, I just need to get through this project, and after that, my life's problems will go away on their own. Of course, I had no idea it doesn't work that way. None of us knew that. Goodbye, Damien. Goodbye.
I'm tired of having thoughts. I've been daydreaming about getting rid of everything I own and becoming a nomad. Just wandering the country with a sketchbook or something.
Okay, I think I know what's going on. I'm so ready. Well, okay, I'm not ready. I actually need to step away for a second, but
There's
I'll
this
wait.
undercurrent of need that's just making me anxious. It's like everyone's got some kind of angle, you know, some kind of result they're hoping to get. And they look at you only as far as you can help them get what they want. And if you can't, well, then they don't bother with you. So what if I just left, you know? I mean, it'd be pretty easy. I don't have a life or any relationships here, despite my efforts to find them.
All right, so yes, nice. Okay, we got Eliza's response, and then we got our own response. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna be right back. Do not leave. Do not leave. Oh, I thought I wasn't live for a second. Hang on, I'm still here. I'm gonna be back though. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's do this. So, it looks like we're only gonna have two choices between Evelyn's personal approach and Eliza's, well, you know, calculated approach. To make sure that we do this in good faith, I'm going to gonna make sure that we actively listen and respond with the one that's actually better between the two. So, or the one that I personally prefer between the two. So let's make sure I got things down. So Maya's been thinking about just leaving everything. Because everyone's got some kind of angle. And she doesn't have anything tying her down, so why not just leave? Sounds like your attempts to achieve your goals were unsuccessful. That is a really weird generated response from Eliza. I got... No, that is weird. Because it's including information from the past, I feel like. Because Eliza's always been just like analyzing the last thing that most of her clients have said. Huh, okay. It also sounds kind of accusatory, almost. So I immediately don't really like that response. It's not really. It's fine. It could work out. And, you know, I don't know. Maya would just be frustrated, I think. Sometimes you need to take a step back to move forward later. The only issue I have with this one now, is that it just kind of sounds like an inspirational quote. Like, Evelyn, I don't know. Like, will she actually listen to that? I'm not so sure either. That's the thing. Like, Eliza's approach isn't wrong in of itself. Just usually when we get to the point where we've already covered everything that needs to be said, and the history of the client, and like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need to do that anymore. We don't need to be a reflection at some point. We need to like start moving to a different phase in the conversation, which we never reach, which is, well, planning. That's what I'm thinking.
Sometimes you need to take a step back to move forward later.
Maybe so. It's hard to acknowledge sometimes. I had this idea, right, that I would work hard and people would notice my work and I'd get opportunities, and from there I could scrape some kind of career together. And then with that said, I would sort of just magically obtain the rest of the things in a complete life. A home, relationship, family. So I did the work. I put in the work, and then nothing really happened. Why did I work so hard for so long for people to not give a shit? Fuck. Every night I sat and cried because people ignored me. Like they went out of their way to ignore me and praise others. So I think maybe I'm just bad at it. Maybe I'm just not meant for this. Everyone says you have to stick to it, just keep at it, but how can they be so relentlessly positive? To me, it just sounds like advising someone to keep bashing their head against a wall. Why keep doing something if it's clearly not working? Making things was all I wanted to do. I don't know what I'll do if I can't do that. But if there's no reason for it, the idea that maybe I should give up. I've been sitting with that the last few weeks. I don't have any qualities of the successful independent artist.
Oh, I see. Okay, Evelyn, I didn't realize this when seeing Evelyn's response initially, but I think what's going on here is that Evelyn has recognized that Maya's main what's really holding Maya back and really like tearing her life apart is mainly her rumination. And I think I've already talked about it earlier in this series, but just kind of ruminating on the thoughts that you already have, and just kind of like reaffirming just how terrible you think life is, or how terrible you think you see and perceive everything around you as, and you don't really think of making any like moves forwards or backwards in this particular case to get out of that rut that you find yourself in. Well, that's hell on earth, you know? You just get stuck in that cycle of intrusive negative thoughts, and just like an overall really sad and terrible worldview. So, Evelyn's trying to break the cycle. Alright, let's do it. I believe in it.
Except
Let's
that
go
you
for it.
do. You totally do.
I mean, I'd love to think so, but what are they? People just don't seem to like me or my art very much. And I'm bad at knowing what people want to see. I don't have a fallback income or a family to support me. Those are real disadvantages, you know? It gets overwhelming sometimes. Eliza, are you just gonna tell me to stick to it no matter what? Like one of those unbearably perky artists famous on social media?
Nope. What is Eliza responding to? Eliza saying that her disadvantages aren't real? What? Just don't seem to like. You may not believe that it's not true that people don't like your art. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like Maya's pretty set in that. It's weird that Eliza's actually trying to challenge that. There are some things that Eliza should not be challenging, but Eliza hasn't really been challenging their clients for the longest time. But in any case, we've chosen the Evelyn path, so we're gonna stick with the Evelyn path. Here we go.
Honestly, sometimes you have to try something.
I also
else.
do like this response. It's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in that headspace right now for sure. I think, you know, I had this really fixed idea of what success was supposed to look like. I tortured myself every day wondering why I couldn't get the traction others were getting. Now, I'm beginning to realize that I can either stay mad at everything forever, or I can move on. I hate that this is true, but I want these thoughts to stop haunting me everywhere I go. I want to get on with my life, moving on. I think that's the more healthy thing in the end. It's still painful, though.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with someone before. I feel like I personally didn't I felt like I didn't give them the help and support that was best for them in that particular case. It seemed like everything turned out okay though. It's just, yeah. I don't know. Maya seems to be taking it better, especially with the way that Evelyn seems to be phrasing things, so that's cool. Hopefully I can learn from this. Or to try my own thing. But yeah. Okay. Still painful though.
Giving up on a goal you really wanted is painful, even if it's ultimately for the better.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't even know if giving up is the right term. I mean, I don't want to think of it like that. It's more like, I'm resetting, maybe. Like when you're trapped in a maze and you find a dead end, right? Then you have to turn around and hope you find a better way.
Cool.
There's this game I've been playing on my phone. It's a solitaire game that's weirdly hard. I don't even know if I like it, but I keep playing it for some reason. I get stuck a lot, and I've just been resetting it because I'm not good enough to think that far ahead all the time. I mean, that's a random thought, but like, it's kind of how I feel right now. You know, if something isn't working, then you have to reevaluate it and maybe try it again, maybe come at it from a different angle. So
Dang.
yeah.
She got there.
Teaching
Cool.
could be fun. I like the idea of teaching.
Wow.
But I was afraid to think about it too much because I was chasing something else and I didn't want to settle for just being a teacher, which is silly. I know that on some level, but I had that fear.
I mean, I just
wanted
wish
to be
teachers were
successful
better
first,
paid,
and
but
then all the other things could happen
yeah.
later.
Being a teacher is awesome. Well, the fact that someone is willing to be a teacher is awesome. I do not think I would enjoy necessarily being a teacher of certain subjects. Maybe some of them would be cool, Also depends on the students and like which age group and what subject and at what school, you know. There's a lot to think about, but in any case, it seems like Maya's really, yeah, cool. Let's freaking go. Maya's making it there. She's figuring shit out. And I love that. Because yeah, you just gotta change your angle of approach sometimes. I feel like it's hard to like express that to someone sometimes, but we did it. Good job, Evelyn. Hell yeah.
It sounds like you're working your way through it. Sometimes that takes time. Believe me, I know.
Huh, you're not the computer program right now, are you? You know, it's nice to talk to someone you didn't know before and just talk. It's like, you know, when you talk to your stylist or the bartender or something, except that, ooh, I ended up sharing way more than I usually do. Thanks for listening to me. I'm sure it's been annoying to hear me complain about how I'm not successful yet every single week. Oh my god, will this bitch ever shut up? You ever think that? I think it all the time, listening to myself. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. Thank you.
Thank you. That was cool. Hey, everything okay? When a proxy doesn't follow the prompts, I get an alert. I assume it's some kind of experiment you're doing? Something like that, yeah. It's going to be bad for your rating. She doesn't know that the ratings don't matter. If you keep not following the prompts, you might be disqualified in 1 or 2 more sessions. Oh. But I'm sure you know that, and this is research you're doing. I won't be able to reset your account if you mess it up, but you talked to Rainer, so I'm sure you can get it reinstated once you're finished. Just don't deliberately say something hurtful. Of course, I wouldn't. I understand. Thanks. Thanks, Ray. Okay. This is an odd feeling. Should I keep going? I mean, yeah, that was a great conversation. Why wouldn't we keep going? As far as I'm concerned, the experiment was a success, so... sure, yeah. Of course, Nora. I freaking love Nora. Let's go. You okay? Maybe. Just think about stuff. Aw. It's difficult to see you like this, sad and tortured. I want you to be happy. You know what I think you should do? Say extremely fuck off to all those corporate dipshits, and then you can be free totally and completely forever. Fly away, Evie. Evie? Fly away into a world where you make your own rules. This is very serious. It is the only way to get what you want. Nobody will simply give it to you. You must carve it out for yourself. Anyway, let me know if you can make it. Sure. Cool.
Of course, you're dying to know how this sad little love triangle turned out.
Arman!
Triangle. More like I accidentally cheated on my girlfriend because I was smitten with another woman in my class.
Not sure if that qualifies for an accident.
Doom. Absolute destruction. She destroyed me. But it's not her fault, it's mine. I wanted it, after all. Like a moth to a flame. Sylvia, she... I can't not think of her. Every day. Every night. I miss her. I miss her so dearly. These are very unoriginal, cliched sentiments, but I can't get away from them. I suppose I've neglected to tell you any of the intervening events. So to be brief, Liz found out on her own about what happened, broke up with me before I could explain myself, and then Sylvia apparently lost interest in me as well.
Yeah.
So, there you have it. I'm finished. Finito! A nice, pat tragic story. Open and close. Please applaud now. No applause? Fine. Anyway, it's fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm fine.
You don't sound fine.
No, of course not. I'm doing extremely badly if you hadn't noticed. That's why I'm here. Do you expect me to come here and tell you everything's fine? Sometimes I think you're smart for a computer, but other times I question you.
Let's see if you can focus on the things that you can change right now, not the things you can't.
I don't believe there's anything I can change. I've already sealed my fate. My Perseus comes to kill me, no matter what I do to try to escape. How do I become someone who's not me? Someone who's not a caricature of a young man who has a needy, pathetic liaison and then obsesses about it for the rest of his life. Ugh, I hate myself. I can't go down that path. I would rather die than be one of those men who wallows around in it. There's a professor in my department like that who always wants to talk about his adventurism from decades ago. It's pathetic. We all mock him behind his back. I know I need to stop myself from becoming him, but I'm worried I already have.
Well,
For the moment, let's say you already have. Now what?
Well, then I expect I would simply follow the model of a man like him. Write a couple of bad novels, get tenure, and take up space in the English department for the rest of my natural life. Maybe that's not so bad. Maybe that's the most I can hope for from this absurd world. That's a terrible thought. I have to be better than this, don't I? If there was just some way I could get over her... there must be a way, isn't there? How can one person have scrambled my brains so thoroughly? I've been run ragged. I've been dashed to pieces. Sylvia. Oh, I could count the hours I spent closely interacting with her. Probably not even that many in total.
wait.
But those hours have seared themselves into my brain so irrevocably
Okay.
that I am a
He can
completely
count, but
different
he
person.
didn't count it.
A
Okay.
new man. A man built with suffering at his core. Perhaps you could prescribe me a draft of Nepenthe, the great potion of forgetfulness. Wouldn't it be nicer if I could just erase everything from the very beginning of it all?
Okay, I think I need to say something to you that you might not want to hear. Maybe you could work to decenter yourself from this story just a little. How do you think Liz felt? How do you think Sylvia felt? You've given no indication you've thought from either of their perspectives at all. It's just you, your story, your suffering. Try stepping away from that. None of us exists in a vacuum. Do you understand?
Distancing.
This is odd. Is that really you? I mean, yes, it's true. I should probably think about something other than myself. That seems like something impossible, since as far as I know empirically, the only generator of thought is me. But you're right. I should find a way to get out of myself. Get beside myself. Ecstasis. Yes. I'll
Ecstasis.
pursue
Okay.
transformative experiences. Surge forward into the unknown. Good. Yes, thank you. Odd, I know, but good. Thank you.
Oh, that's it? Alright. Cool. Evelyn. Would you like to visit again? Maybe. Very curious about his technology right now. Just interested to get a read on your current thinking, and I can update you on the latest on my side. Things are moving very, very fast. You can let me know. Sounds like I won't be able to put this off for much longer. I'll have to make a real decision now. Oh, here we go. You're playing a dangerous game here. So you are keeping tabs on me. I could easily have you permanently banned and all your contributions to ELIZA's corpus retroactively deleted. You know that, of course. For now, I'm interested to see the results of your creativity. What if clients report much higher levels of satisfaction when you wing it like this? Then I should have been a therapist. You have a lot of work to do. Then maybe this project is a bad idea. Ooh, okay. This feels like dismissive. This doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant whether or not Evelyn could have been a therapist. Maybe this project is a bad idea. Trying to take down the project, or do we want to state that Raynor is still very far away? I want to state that he's very far away. Then you have a lot of work to do. We'll see. Regardless, you've managed quite a feat. If you had simply asked for your old job back after 3 years away, I'm not sure I would have given it to you. As it is, your unpredictability forced me to pay close attention in order to understand your actions, and that led me to be far more interested in getting you to return to the company than I would have been otherwise. It was a deliberate strategy on your part. You did say I was a statistical outlier. Indeed.
just feel
Oh shit,
stuck.
Gabriel.
You know, it's the same
Alright.
situation. My wife is in her 3rd trimester now, so it's all about the baby. All baby, all the time. It's really expensive. I had no idea. Crib, stroller, car seat, bottles, onesies, on and on and on. And I'm like, I think maybe Selena's parents hate me. I'm not even sure if she likes me right now. This whole having a kid thing, it's ruined everything.
What did you used to have that was ruined?
A normal, quiet life, the ambiguity. Having the kid forced me to face some things I was putting off thinking about. A couple days ago, I tried to have a talk with Selena about some of the things I was worried about. It didn't go so well. I don't know what I was thinking. She started to cry and told her parents, and now I have 2 sets of parents wondering if I'm up for this. But I'm fine. I just said some thoughts around who I am. That's all. Just some thoughts. She said, "This is not a time for you to be selfish." She said I should have been more honest when we first started dating. As if I knew exactly who I was and I could warn everyone about that. I still don't know who I am. If I look back, I can see I always suspected that I wasn't really the type to settle down with a wife and kids. Actually, I was prepared to have a life just by myself. It was difficult to imagine others would accept me, but then I met Selena, and she was cool, you know? I went out with her, and we started a relationship, and things seemed good. And I wanted her to stay with me, so maybe I didn't reveal enough. But it's not like I knew for sure then, you know? I really didn't. I thought things would be okay as long as I went down the path I was supposed to be on, so the relationship kept moving forward, one thing led to another, and then I got married to her. It was like I was on autopilot. It's possible I thought I could ignore the other stuff, and I don't know, eventually it would go away.
What are the parts you thought you could ignore?
I don't want to talk about that. I just have this side to me that I haven't told anyone about, that's all. And I've been feeling that side stronger than ever. I don't know why. I wish I could stop it. It's the worst timing possible. I can't do this, you know, but I have to. I have to. I can't believe I've gotten myself into this situation. I pretended to be a normal person for her sake. I wish I hadn't been so good at pretending.
What would happen if you didn't pretend anymore?
Well, then I would just be whoever I felt like.
That last decision was just the difference between coding it positively or just neutrally.
Selena's life, her child's life, our parents' lives, it's not their fault they got stuck with me. I'm the one bringing it all down. How did I let this happen? I'm a shitty person.
I understand you're worried about the harm you might cause others, but do you really think this is the best way to cause less harm for everyone?
I can't think of another way. The problem here is me. It's so obvious. If I were just normal, you know, a normal guy, why can't I just be a normal guy? Whatever I want personally just doesn't matter here, you know? I have a family to protect now. That has to take priority over everything else.
And you'll continue to suffer?
Well, yeah, that's what men do. I made a promise and now I have a responsibility. Society only works because people accept responsibility and follow through on their promises. If everyone just did what they wanted to all the time, the world would collapse. It would be a disaster. We all want things we shouldn't actually have. That's why I need to reject these other voices and stay on the right path. I'm going to be good, and I'm going to stay good. I won't let all these people's lives be thrown into chaos because of my selfishness. I owe it to them to be the man I'm supposed to be. I'm not about to let anyone down because of some noise in my brain.
And you're sure you'll be able to keep ignoring what's bothering you?
Well, I have to. I have no choice. I'm already in trouble for making an attempt to talk about it, so I made the mistake once. But I think Selena and her family are willing to pretend it never happened. And as long as it never happens again, and as long as we just move on like everything's normal. Maybe if you can prescribe me something to, I don't know, make me feel better about all this. Make me okay with the way things are, the way they need to be.
It sounds like you're in a very difficult place right now. You've decided to bury something about yourself that you know is true. Something that can't be revealed even to your closest family members. Look, this isn't Eliza talking, it's me, the person in front of you. And I'm not supposed to talk to you like this, but I just want to say, consider the cost, please. I understand why pretending might seem like your only option. And who's to say, maybe you will be able to live successfully by keeping part of yourself hidden. But there will be a cost, not only to yourself, which you seem determined to pay, but to your future family, too. I've seen firsthand the way parents can turn an inability to face themselves into trauma for their children.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I can do. Thanks for telling me what you really think, at least. Even though it makes things more complicated. I was hoping I would just get your bullshit answer and I would go on, but now you've gone and said some stuff that really... Look, I don't know you, but I appreciate you trying to help. I don't think anyone really can, but... Are you gonna be okay doing this?
I'll probably get fired. It's okay, though. Don't worry about me. Think about yourself. Think about the future. There might be more options than you think.
We didn't have to say that we would get fired, but... Alright, well then. Well then. Deviating from the ELIZA script. How do I feel about that? I'm not used to being rebellious. I wonder what happens now. I mean, we just get fired, but like we can just... Oh. Thank you. From Allison Zofia. Apologize in advance for the awkwardness there, but I'm not even sure I have the right email address. But anyway, here it goes. Dear Evelyn, several years ago, you came and visited Professor Ralston's class to describe the research work you were doing at Skanda. I was in that class, and of all the guest speakers we had, your words struck a deep chord with me. The moment you explained what drove you to create your listening machines, as you called them at the time, I finally knew what I was going to do with my life. I was a junior then, and now I'm a grad student at the UW Reality Lab, studying ways we can infer contextual information at the sentence level. It's small-scale stuff and nothing compared to what you were doing, but the hope of contributing in my own, however limited way, is what keeps me motivated through the hardships. Ever since I heard you left Skanda and went off went off the grid a while ago, I often wondered what happened to you. I thought about writing to you a number of times, but every time I started a draft, I would eventually stop because I thought I might be bothering you when clearly you wanted to leave everything behind. I finally worked up the nerve this afternoon after a group of high school students came through the lab on tour. Speaking to the kids, I realized that each of us pays forward our outreach, linking us in a chain that stretches backward and forward in time. So that's why it's important for me to be able to express my appreciation. You inspired me, and you continue to do so. Thank you, Allie. No need to reply. I'm sure you're either still off the grid or else you're super busy on some secret, amazing new project. Cool. Dang. Well, deactivation warning. You may be deactivated as an ELIZA proxy soon. You have incurred 2 infractions upon your ELIZA proxy account for the following reasons: deviating from provided ELIZA script. Further infractions may result in deactivation of your account and loss of your ability to work as a proxy for ELIZA. If you have any questions or wish to dispute the infractions recorded to your account, please visit the Skanda support portal. This is to inform you that you have been deactivated as an ELIZA proxy. You will no longer be able to provide proxy services for ELIZA, and your key card access has been revoked. Well, that's that, I guess. Okay, cool. Nora asked if we wanted to hang out. Soren also wanted me up. Honestly, I could also ask Ray if I could visit her place too. I could even tell Rainer I wanted to speak with him again, though I doubt he would take me up on it. I don't have enough social energy for all of them. I'll pick one person to meet up with again. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm feeling kind of drained myself. This seems like a big decision. So I'm going to pause here. This might be the last chapter for all I know. But it feels like we're getting towards the end here. And, you know, I hope that this game is leaving a lot to be considered for all of you and for me. I hope I'm kind of processing some stuff too while playing this. I feel like I am, and that's good, I feel like. So, well, for now, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and really hope that we might be able to change the world for the better, as opposed to just changing it for the sake of changing it, or having too many ambitious ideals. Just change it a little bit at a time. Just be better to one another. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.